Overall, the market relatively quiet to start here so far this morning ahead of more inflation data to come this time tomorrow morning. We'll get PPI, Producer Price Index, coming out tomorrow after CPI yesterday. Remember, a little hotter than expected. That said, a number of things to keep in mind this morning. Moving around, including Eli Lilly back to the upside this morning, teaming up with Amazon for certain drug deliveries. We'll talk about that coming up. Bitcoin back to highs, 73,000, comes and goes once again. So all things crypto related back in positive territory in a pretty big way this morning as well. Gold also rallying this morning. A little bit of strength in some of the gold related equities. We'll touch on that. Busy day to come. It is Wednesday, March 13th, 2024. Tradertv.live starts now. Yeah, there's the overall market to kick things off. Daily chart still well intact here. We're holding on to the top end of the range, back to the downside ever so slightly, about 0.5% here so far this morning. Pre-market pretty quiet right across the spectrum so far this morning. Number of individual names with catalysts. However, I mentioned that Amazon, Eli Lilly note benefiting Eli Lilly a little more than Amazon so far this morning, but same story, kind of back inside the range here. We'll wait and see what happens tomorrow. Again, CPI by far the bigger reading as far as inflation compared to PPI, but worth a note here coming up tomorrow. We'll get more on the inflation front.
Yeah, definitely keep tabs on that as we come into the next Fed meeting and decide on interest rates. Widely anticipated that the March will be a nothing burger. Now we're looking more to June. Also, Intel in the headlines, Brendo, with the Pentagon cutting about $2.5 billion from its contribution to the CHIPS Act. Intel was slated to produce chips for the security industry or the defense industry there, and that may not happen. Yeah, $2+ billion gone out after the close yesterday for Intel. I was actually expecting a little bit of a bigger move for Intel on that. It did move down, but not a heck of a lot. We'll talk Lennar, I'm sure, at some point, maybe later on this afternoon, reporting after the close tonight. This thing has been so strong, basically closed the day at highs yesterday, set to open a little bit higher once again this morning for the home builders. Still a few interesting earnings to come. And like what I want to see here is now that we're looking at higher for longer and rates getting kicked down the road, the rate cuts, are there going to be housing starts? Because we know that the home builders weren't building in the high rate environment. So that's what I want to see here. Problem in this country too. Yeah. On that Amazon Lilly tie up as well. This one I was reading this morning under a little bit of pressure here, gapping down, $21 coming into play for WBA. Again, Lilly teaming up with Amazon for some drug delivery, guys.
Walgreens.
Yeah. Walgreens, baby. I heard a lot. That's a lot to sink in. You got Lennar earnings after market. We're talking a little bit of Intel. Then we're going on over to the Amazon, Eli Lilly, and then Walgreens. It's just Bitcoin, son.
Why do you do Walgreens again?
Bitcoin. That's just Bitcoin. Bitcoin.
Yeah. Who are the anything else?
What are the 5 greatest investment vehicles of all time?
Dylon.
Bitcoin. Bitcoin.
And Dylon.
Actually, no, it's Dylon all day, man. First of all, you know Dylon, for sure that dude invested in Bitcoin. You can tell by the type. He just seems like he's a type. But all time, new fresh highs in BTC today. So that should be exciting. And we're not wearing the same shirt.
I can't believe I didn't wear my red checkered shirt today.
I don't know why you didn't. I actually thought you would go checkered again, so I rolled with this. I was just saying yesterday I don't have enough green. I don't have any green shirts. I have like a green golf shirt.
Be a little more bullish there, my guy.
I have a lot of blue and a lot of red, but I got no green shirts.
I actually only have shorts written down on the sticky note today. Oh, actually I have Apple long at 171. Look what's happening to Nvidia. Uh-oh, Nvidia. Who knows? It's just down $15 here, down to $9.15 and starting to go a little bit lower. Is there news on something here, or is this just the way Nvidia is going to trade today? I mean, look at the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ's starting to slip up a little bit right now, and so is the big dog here. So a little bit of a move down. Yesterday afternoon was a lot of fun trading this. We were buying 900, and we got out at 910, and then it ripped up to 925 in the aftermarket, and that was fun to see that. And then now you're starting to head a little bit lower here. I do have, what's up, Kyle? What's up, Ponzi? What's up, all our friends there in the chat? I'm short, so I'm only short right now, and I'm short with Brendan talk here as well. I thought Intel would be a little lower. Oh, see, you didn't see that on the show. Would my charts do that? No, I didn't think so. Okay. So anyways, as Intel here, this is the one I'm short. Wish we were short. If I got short AMD or Nvidia when we got short Intel, we'd be like $10 in the money here. But Intel holding up, man. And is ARM starting to go down too?
Oh, my ARM's down a couple bucks.
ARM's down a couple bucks. So yeah, anyway, it's going to be a really fun day here today as we go. It's going to be like 67 degrees or something here as I try to figure out the math. It's 18 degrees Celsius here today. So we're ready to rock and roll, man.
It should be in a t-shirt, really.
We're getting those spring feels around here for sure, for sure. But anyways, okay.
Yes.
March break for the kids around here, which is fun for them. And, you know, not so. Baxter came through yesterday. He's pitching his business downtown right now.
That is key.
He's getting ready to go. He met Fabian and Ramin, so that was nice. But anyways, all right, back over to the desk with Sharif and Brendo.
Okay. On my way, Rob says. A couple things to touch on. We were just talking about acronyms over here. Never mind us. 2.5% here for Tesla under pressure. 173 getting hit here. We're right back to that low from yesterday. Another negative note this morning for Tesla. And this time, you know, we're taking into account the possibility of lower than expected Q1 deliveries here on this downgrade this morning.
Exactly. Well said, Brendo. I mean, what they're saying is here, number one, the price cuts, they're having, you know, a diminishing effect. So initially, the price cuts were able to generate more sales. That's the law of diminishing returns coming into play here. So that's number one. Number two, they're saying the Model 2 rollout is going to take a lot longer than expected. And they're saying it's kind of being done haphazardly here, Brendo. They're saying it's not done in an organized way, in a proper way like the Model 3 and the Model Y were. So they have some concerns here, Wells Fargo.
I was reading something similar last night as well, suggesting that this was hurried, to say the least, coming to market or coming to public anyways for Rivian. This one, on the other hand, trying to hold on to, it just went red, but Meta, back to negative territory here, just 0.12 downside. We've got to keep Meta on watch. We've got to keep Snap on watch today. This vote happening in Washington on TikTok coming up. You had an interesting take on this before we came on, but I mean, if something's going to move, it typically ends up being some of these social media platforms.
Yeah, absolutely. The TikTok tailwind, we talked about it all last year when Meta was coming off that $80 bottom in October 2022, and you see where Meta is now. Guys, what I was saying to Adara yesterday on how to trade and what Brendo and I were talking about off camera this morning and what was echoed on CNBC this morning was, what does this company become? It can no longer share its algorithm with any of the other with basically TikTok International. It becomes an isolated company, basically doomed to grow as the American economy grows. It can never expand its users more than that, can't share any advertising. So you restrict the company. I don't know what we do here.
Yeah, it'll be in Congress today, so we'll see what, if anything, comes from this, guys, as far as the Metas and Snaps of the world are concerned.
I think you don't. I don't think you overreact to this. I think if some kind of a headline comes, you're going to have some headline risk if you're trading in Meta, let's just say, or in Snapchat. But I just feel like you go with what the trend is telling you with these names, because if you just sort of lent to noticing the relative strength and forget about this headline and just remember the relative strength that you saw in a couple of the big cap tech names, Microsoft was one, Meta was another, where at 8:30 yesterday, when you got that economic number, everything went to the upside. Now, just a lot of the charts that we'll show you this morning at the open flunked and we're back underneath lows. Meta wasn't. Meta ended up holding that previous close, never really breaking down too far, and that was a sign of relative strength. I think that's what's going to be important. So I look at the higher low that got put in. If it holds on to that as the market's dipping back in, if it holds on to like 93s, great. And if you happen to have some kind of a headline come through that helps you out, fair enough. But this is one of this and Microsoft were two of the names yesterday that I feel like they kind of tipped their hand. Of course, now I'm not seeing the full data there. Yeah, they kind of tipped their hand at the open because they just did not show the kind of weakness that a lot of other names did. When they dipped back in, they held. Microsoft didn't even break any of the lows. And as the market and everything else was just tipping, you saw some relative strength in them. So if I'm going to go dip buy hunting, I like Apple again, same level, 171. But you start looking at a softie. You start looking at a Meta as well. Meta was more around 484. Softie, look at it in this low 12 to 13 range. If we do get some kind of a flush back in, but I'm not really terribly concerned about the TikTok news. If you're really fast, maybe you could hear something and hit Snapchat, but like the algos chew those up when they happen so quickly that you just want to stick to the trend, I think.
Yeah, look, I don't. There's nothing's going away with TikTok or anything like that. Like, it's still going to be a big part. It's still going to be a headwind for Google and Meta and all this. If somehow TikTok has to completely banish, then I could see something, but that's not what's going to happen. There's too much money there. There's too much advertising. There's somebody will come in and take it over. And you know who's going to wind up buying TikTok if it's for sale? It's going to be a Mag 7 name. It's not going to be Rumble with a bunch of jokers and stuff like that. That's not what's going to happen. It's going to be one of these big guys is going to come in and do that, or nothing's going to happen at all. This is just a political sort of, back and forth as we've seen many, many times. You know what the name that I'm interested in is Google, because this is now looking for 5 straight up days. That's pretty good for Google. I mean, even in its run up here, that's 5 days, that's 4 or 5 days, that's 4 or 5 days. So you're starting to run into the 50-period moving average, although this is one of my favorite holdings and my largest. We've talked about this. I wonder if this is running out of steam a little bit. So if the market pulls back here, what about Google in and around? I mean, we still have a couple bucks to go, and I don't know if it's going to be a short today, but just in talking about stocks possibly losing some steam, I could see Google it's had a nice run up. Their quarter was good, not great. Some negativity around Gemini, obviously, and we talked about that on the podcast as well. There's I have 3 tabs open: Perplexity, Gemini, Chat, other things, just to even test them. And I don't even know which one I like yet. But I wonder if Google is going to be running out of steam at some point. I still like dip buys in all these names, but I am starting to raise capital. I talked about getting out of GE. I think the Eli Lilly news is nice because I want to be buying dips in that name, and I haven't been, so we can look at that as well. But yeah, that's where I am on some of these names, and maybe buying some Tesla if it gets into that 160 area.
Well, we might see that soon on Tesla. Yeah. Tesla's got ye old. I'm not even on the chart when they hit this one anyways. I suppose Tesla's on the watch list. We'll probably do it on the rundown, but you just mentioned it. And it's got this 172 under it. Yesterday's bottom that got put in at the open. Like, this is the charts I'm talking about, where you're going to see a lot of charts that look like this at the open, where there was a huge tank event, and then you bounced back, and then you saw the relative strength of when everything else was going down. You saw what happened with Microsoft. Not much, but Tesla, there's once, twice, 172, that gets taken out. And maybe we do see the 60s in Tesla. The 150 is where the channel bottom is. I still think you can get down there at some point. Yeah, I think it's, at the end of the day, I think you don't want to be overreacting to anticipated news. Like we're saying there, if anything happens, it happens, and you sort of roll with those punches. If you get in the mode of, oh, this is going to happen today, and I'm only banking on that. Like, let's say you waited all day long for ARM to do a $25 move down and a halt yesterday because of the IPO expiration. If you waited all day for that event thinking that's what had to happen, then you wasted your day in ARM. And it doesn't mean that couldn't happen at some point. It's just, if you sit there waiting for something, you're going to miss other opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, Nvidia was the #1 name yesterday for me, and I didn't start trading until 3 o'clock. So I feel like that's 100% right. You never know what's going to come through, and especially in a market like this, sometimes it's a little hands-off until you see some key levels. But that Tesla one at 172.
We'll see if it breaks.
Is very.
I have a stop to go short if it does break. I will. That's Tesla. I'll trade in the pre-market because if it breaks a level in the pre-market, Tesla's pretty liquid.
Sorry, I was going to say I'm actually short right now.
Position board's
position
not working.
board.
Oh.
Position board. All right.
They're on it. A couple things moving around here. Minimum.
Oh.
MINM 2 point, what is it? 2.8 million shares on this thing. Moving around again today. There was a merger agreement announced with E2 companies after the close yesterday. So a big move up to almost $10 there. It's back downside. Just saw a few people talking about that. I was going to mention Palantir here as well. Under a little bit of pressure. I saw a couple of people talking Palantir. Nothing really as far as news is concerned. Peter Thiel, who's a director for the company, sold 7 million shares yesterday apparently. So maybe it was that market on open order that
wow.
tanked this thing yesterday.
Yeah, interesting insider sales there, Brendo. Dan Ives coming out from Wedbush, basically keeping his outperform rating on Palantir and raising the price target to about $35, which is about a 42% upside from yesterday's close. Brendo, what he's saying is he believes investors are underestimating Palantir's artificial intelligence platform, that AIP. He claims that it's basically regarded by U.S. businesses as the launching pad of AI use cases. So, you know, he has a way with words. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's coming back into decent levels here, guys. Once again, 24.50, 24 for PLTR.
It is. I've just remembered, like, I'm gonna have to add this to the list of trades because, look, that opening candle. I mean, obviously, you know, he's not selling all 7 million shares in a single opening print. Like, you got to file, then you got to do it in all that kind of good stuff. But it was like 2 or 3 million shares, or close to 3 million shares, that took this to the downside. And some things recovered well after those initial breaks. This one didn't. Like, it broke the bottom. It broke Monday's low and then held Monday's low as resistance. So I got to be thinking about that one short back into 25 quarter up at the top there. So I'm going to add this one to the iPad. Good luck. See, we were just talking about you don't know where it's going to come from. And there was a really good bounce in the afternoon show for a lot of people were looking at. Actually, a couple of traders took. I didn't take it. I was like an Apple and IBIT in the afternoon, but there was a good bounce off the lows. I think a short back into 25.25 here, if there's any kind of a pop, makes some sense over in Palantir. Insider selling, maybe not as big of a deal as insider buying because obviously you got to try to make money somewhere. It's entirely possible that that's all this was, and if it gets through that quarter, then hey, your insider selling's done. 7 million is a pretty big chunk. If that is the case and it breaks 25, no need to fight it past that price. But it has been on a downward trajectory looking for the support levels. The key support's been closer to 23. So I'd like to think that it has a little bit of room to go.
All right, so now it all makes perfect sense. We've been sitting here every day. Patty Ice is trying to trade, starting to trade Palantir now again. And remember what we said has been happening in the morning? You get huge moves down in the morning time pretty much every single day. And it's always, I try to play these levels and then it tanks, it finds a base and goes. It's the same thing happened right here. It found a base at 26 and then went. It happened here again, found a base. I mean, this one was a big flush, so that's what we were talking about yesterday. Finds a base and goes right back to the upside. So you're getting major flushes. These are all at the open. All of these red candles are all immediately at the open, and then it finds a base and goes back up in the afternoon. So we absolutely nailed that. It's good to hear. Not good to hear that there's so much insider selling, however, but I'm way over tech. Like I have so much tech exposure, it's ridiculous. But I kind of want to add more to this. So if we're going to try to be patient, we always say wait for the 50 period. Wait for the 200 period is going to be all the way down here. You know, we talked about buying Bitcoin at 50,000 on the podcast. We were banging the table over and over again buying Palantir here before this quarter, right? And now the move happens, it gets up to $27. So I wouldn't be surprised if you break through 23 at some point and land somewhere in here, 21, 22, where then it's a buy for sure. So we'll wait for Palantir. I don't mind missing the move down here, but it's been a great move up. So good job anybody getting some out up there. I didn't get anything out. This is a very, very long-term play for me. If it can get to that $35 mark, then we'll trim some. But into here, 21, 22 is where we start buying some more of Mr. Alex Karp and Company with Palantir.
And Co.
Quickly, we'll get some analyst moves coming up here in a second. But I wanted to mention this. We've been discussing the strength, if you go out to a daily chart, of GE. This is GE Healthcare. They announced after the close yesterday they're going to offload another 13 to 14 million shares of GE Healthcare. I was trying to find the last time they did this. I remember it might have been here actually. They've done this a couple of times since they spun this thing off and continue to offload as much as they can, as quickly as they can. But that's not small. 14 million shares again for GEHC.
No, and you're exactly right, Brendo. They spun off 13 million shares about a month ago at 82.25. So a little bit of a higher premium this time at 87.75. But Brendo alerting me to the fact that we closed out 92 yesterday. So the down move here likely something to do with this latest offering price.
Yeah, under pressure again today for GEHC. I mean, it's had a decent run, guys. GE as well, still selling the healthcare division that they spun off.
Oh, no, I thought we were going to us.
Momentum here, this time getting an upgrade from JMP Securities, citing basically that they think the continued inflows into these ETFs will help Coinbase. Southwest getting an upgrade here after earnings from Jefferies Financial. Nucor getting upgraded by Citigroup, and Carnival trading up with lots of volume this morning here with an upgrade from Goldman Sachs. In terms of downgrades, we have this downgrade here for Tesla. From a price target of 200 to 125, so definitely one to watch. Cliffs getting downgraded here by Citigroup. Campbell's, the suit maker here, getting downgraded by Evercore ISI. And last but not least, Brown & Brown getting a price target increase, but a downgrade from BofA Securities, guys.
We know somebody that is not happy, clearly not happy about that Tesla downgrade. They're loving Tesla there.
They're loving Tesla. It's like Tesla.
I don't know. I'm still thinking breakdown short on Tesla, but CCL, do something, Carnival. It's always like, look at the slow, methodical bounce. We were talking about this last week, holding the 200 period moving average, got to support at 15. No breakout yet above the 50 period. It's closed above the 50. Okay, check that. It did not close above the 50 period. Let me zoom it in for you. We had one tiny little attempt to actually hold the 50 period there. Technically, I guess technically it closed above the 50 and was right back on it. But it could do that today and then maybe run to the 17. The problem is an upgrade enough of a catalyst for this to break it out? I don't know, but it should be on the radar, because if it takes out that 17, it's got a bit of a short float as well. If it goes crazy dipping, I mean, $16 looks pretty good. But you generally want to catch this when the volume's coming in. I don't really see much in the pre-market. Otherwise, normally we'd be all over a CCL when it was at a level like this. Hopefully volume can pick up on it. There's a lot of things that look a little bit bearish. At least this is something which right now it's up. It's been in a slow trend up. You haven't had too many parabolic days. If anything, it's been big move, consolidation, big move, consolidation. Another big move, I think, is in the works here, especially if you can take out that high. But you got to put it on the back of the radar. Put a set an alert for like that 1680 top. Maybe have a volume alert set for a CCL. I like that one when it starts going.
I just looked at the GE Healthcare because I wanted to see how much it's up. It's up, because I have some in my account because it spun off and I didn't buy anymore, so I knew that what the price was. It's up 75%.
Yeah.
Since the spin-off. So that GEHC, I sold all of my GE 2 days or 3 days ago or last week, whatever it was. But GEHC up 75%. So
I'm the other way. I sold GEHC and have not sold GE.
Yeah. I mean, they're both that high.
I mean, they're both, so yeah, whatever.
Anyway, the only Carnival that I'm worried about is vultures. So you guys, if you know about that. All right, the next thing here would be what the heck is happening with, yeah, Fabian knows, that's good. Look what's happening with Nvidia right now. Huge move to the downside again. Now back into 906, 905. So yeah, man, we are starting to fall back in for Nvidia. Now down 1.3%. So I say sing, Intel, sing, because right now it's not doing anything. So we'll wait to see if Intel can drop down. I'm bidding in the 30s and I'm bidding in the teens. So I really think there's a much bigger move happening for Intel once this market goes. But you could trade, the reason why I keep on bringing up Nvidia, you can trade Nvidia now as if the market was open. So if you're jonesing for you know, to trade something. There's tons of liquidity here. And I traded this all yesterday afternoon, and the levels, everything to me, I've been watching this, looks the same as if it were open. So pretty clean charts, 2 million shares, clean levels, lots of volume here. So look out for Nvidia. It's definitely on the move here, down 1.2%. And again, hitting those exact same highs. In and around 930, 940, couldn't break it, and looking for that again here now. I think you could buy 900, but like I said, I sat there a couple days ago last week and saw this thing drop $60 on open, and I thought, you know, buying 900 was pretty good at that time, and we got slipped down to 897, and then I was talking with Max after, and he's like, dude, it was down to 980 or 888 30 seconds later, and I was like, what? And then I came back here and looked at the chart and realized that in 1 minute this thing dropped $12 off of 900. So watch out if that can easily happen again. And then all of a sudden, so I want to thank Max for this, all of a sudden I felt pretty good about $3 worth of slippage on that one. So anyways, all right, let's go back to the desk. It's 8:55.
A couple of things. I was just noticing oil's up 2% right now, pre-market, so a little bit of strength coming into energy names. There's a note on this one. Trades over in the UK on the London exchange, but Shell planning to cut 20% of their workforce across the board. We learned late yesterday that, not energy related obviously, but IBM also coming through with job cuts in the marketing side of things. You just saw that number. That's maybe worth sharing to everyone this morning.
IBM employs 282,000 people worldwide, which is just seems like a really bloated number. So it looks like they're going to be cutting some people, as you said, in the advertising division. With respect to Shell, about cutting 20%, we've seen a lot of attempted consolidation in this area, Brendo. We've seen Hess deal, we've Chevron as well. Some of them may not go through, but I feel like it is to streamline costs a little bit.
Yeah. Oil day highs right now. I was reading this morning as well that they were saying in that note from IBM, they could replace as many as 5,000 jobs next year with AI. So that's getting into the point where it's substantial. Here's IBM though, not really doing a heck of a lot this morning.
Yeah, actually, we were talking about some of those oil names yesterday with Randy and how they've been very slowly coiling to the upside. XOM, because they're getting that Permian Basin deal, potentially taking it away from Chevron. And they've been looking pretty good. I like them. I just think they haven't been running far enough. Whether it's IBM or Oracle, I feel like some of the older, I don't know, we calling them the old guard? I guess we are. They're holding up really, really well at some of these tops. IBM doesn't have the volume behind it, but it tried yesterday. It was taking out the 52-week high right at that 199. It double tapped it again in the afternoon, like right at the end of the day. It tried to take it out and then no dice. So if we do go, if the market starts going to the upside, which right now it's not, obviously, this would set up for a nice little breakout into fresh highs, whether it's 99 or the $200 level. That looks pretty darn spicy. But unlike what Sean was just saying with Nvidia having liquidity, this doesn't have any at all. It's a dollar spread in the pre-market. You're not going to have any ability to really trade this until you see what happens at the open. So I think if we get some juice behind the market, this is one sleeper to maybe look at. And then I was sort of mentioning Oracle there as well. Oracle, I got 127 marked off, which could break pretty much like right away here at the open. It was afternoon support, and then you close just above it. It's Oracle gapping up on earnings. If it can't hold that, you got quite the gap fill. If we do have a red day today, it's not exactly rocket science. It's something that gapped up of double digits, could be under pressure, and some profit taking could come into play here. Oracle also rejecting a major resistance on the daily chart as well. Triple top up at 130. So if Oracle can't hold on to 127, I mean, even a couple of bucks. You know, $2 is a couple of percentage points on Oracle, but that's a good gain if we do fall at the open.
I mean, I just looked. Part of my portfolio, I only have, it's like 1.5% of my whole retirement portfolio is in IBM, but I have like 20-something names, so maybe a little bit more than that, actually. Look at IBM. What I want to say about this is I'm really thankful that I have this stock, but this is a stock that I would buying for a very long time because it had a dividend and still does have a good dividend. It's probably the best dividend in tech. I think it's like 4 or 5%. I don't know, with this appreciation, I'll have to look at the yield again. But this reminds me of Tesla. So like as soon as you broke this 150 area here, when I put this back, this is 2018. So IBM did nothing for 6 years. If you bought this name in 2018, you just made money now, right? So you just made money. So you had to hold this name for 6 years. So I think now that this is a not sell. You have to hold on to this. It's broken out. It's way up now. I like it. You may want to sell something because you're near 2 bills, but IBM finally starting to break out. And we talked about this as well. Another name that we've been buying, and Neil just talked about it. You know, I don't want to buy Cisco, but we've been buying some old tech names, and they've been doing really well. Oracle, you guys know we're long this around 107, 108, and we're not cherry picking. We were talking about this down here. You know, and we were hating ourselves because we were waiting for another negative quarter and then possibly breaking back down below 100. But this name has been well worth holding as well. Well worth holding as well. So, all right, it's 9 o'clock and Nvidia is still 907. And one name that we forgot to mention again here was AMD, and we didn't forget it, just it also broke 200. So this is another level that just came in, that just broke, bounced off 50, back up to 200. So I'm just going to keep everybody abreast of sort of what's been happening in these tech names. As you can see my Intel. Oh, it's not on the board yet, but I do have Intel short. So that's the one name that I have short right now, INTC. But it is up on more trading. So go over to that to see our accurate positions.
All right, let's get into everything else we need to know here as we head towards the open on a Tuesday morning. Sharif's going to lead us off with a look at the futures.
Yeah, guys, we closed out yesterday at that 52.43 area, the overnight high, 52.47, the overnight low, 52.35. Let's go ahead and say 52.50 is going to be that key resistance level. We're kind of consolidating right now. That takes us back into the 8th high right there at 52.50. As support, let's go ahead and say this morning's low at 52.26.
Yeah. I know it's Wednesday. If you haven't done so already, make sure you grab that. Go to tradertv.live. Pop-up will appear. All you have to do is enter your email address, and then that comes for free every single day, right to your inbox. Has everything you need to know on it in the pre-market. Let's talk about Bitcoin. All-time highs right now. This is a 15-minute chart. We took out that high from the 2 days ago, 3 days ago. I guess it was 72.9, 73,000, holding above it right now.
Yeah, I can't believe we're above 73.5. Bitcoin's gained 47% in the last month, and that's helped Coinbase rise as well, which also got an upgrade today, Brendo, from JMP Securities with a price target of 300 and a rating of outperform. So keep eyes on that. Yeah,
a few interesting moves when it comes to equities. Back downside a little bit here, including Coin. I was noticing Mara, the same thing, back downside here, back to basically where we ended the day yesterday.
So I was having a conversation with Patty Ice, Big Patty Ice. And one of the things that was, he was trading a lot of Mara, right? But he was trading Mara because of the move, not necessarily because it's a crypto thing. Why is the, oh, there's Patty, okay, why do I see a bit of the turtle? Oh, there he is, there's Patrick. I love that look. There's Patrick, but he was trading Mara because of the moves. And so one of the things I was pointing out is, if you noticed, IBIT has had the most electric, like, false breaks in either direction. Like, when it tries to take a key level and reverses, just jump in. Like, look at it. You look at it when it was making the break. This is 37, and it was making a fresh high at that point. It failed that, and look at the pullback. Like, once it rejects the level, like, you get in at almost any point, and it's huge. When it failed, when it was like last week, when it failed underneath like 35 on a big pullback, it's support, big time rejection, fail break at the top. And maybe it's not as volatile the more times it happens, but wow, like it failed a fresh high right after the open on a break and then look at the reversal. It ended up absolutely falling apart after that. Then you go back, it goes right into like Friday's bottom, wicks it, and then runs up. And these are big moves. You're trading the ETF, that's a couple dollars on the ETF. You can scalp trade it, was able to take 20, 30 cents on it in the afternoon with the trend, and you just kind of join the trend in whichever direction it decides to fail. So if we fail a fresh high today, or more importantly, if we get to like 75,000, let's say, I'm not thinking breakout long if we get to 75,000. I'm thinking if we get to 75,000 and I see it wick that top and come back underneath, I'm shorting it on IBIT. Because when I've seen it happen, that's just been the better trade. And if we get to 70,000, I'm thinking the exact same thing. If we wick 70,000 under, I want to be going a reversal in the other direction. And then you can start playing the trend after something like that happens. So my eyes are going to be on IBIT today. No questions asked. Although Coinbase, not that bad of a setup at 260. Would have been nice. If you're already sitting in a 260 short in Coinbase, you're laughing. Crypto new highs. Coinbase down 1%, and 260 was like an absolute brick wall yesterday. It was like trying to run through the Buffalo Bills defensive line. It's just not going to work out well for you. So 260, good level on Coinbase. We're now $7 away from it, unfortunately. Maybe you'll get a shot at that at the open.
Didn't Pacheco have a good game or no? I think he might have. No, I'm not trolling. I just don't know if he did. I don't know.
I just wanted to make a reference, and what other team am I going to say?
Right, okay.
Of course I'm going to say the Bills.
Right. You're not going to say the Cowboys don't even have a running back.
They don't have a running back.
No, they don't. They literally have nobody.
Yo, actually, no, I wouldn't.
Derrick Henry to the Ravens. Kaboom. Okay, so I just put out a note about NVIDIA, obviously down 1%. You guys can go figure that out. Right here, did I not attach? That's hilarious. I don't think you think I attached a sticky note. Did I not? Maybe I didn't. But right now, we had written on here coin as well at that 260 level. So we're going to have to go over there and look at that. Let me see. Did someone say I didn't even attach it? No, maybe I did. Okay. Anyways, let's look at Coinbase real quick here for that. Let me know in the chat if I did or not attach the sticky note there. I might have not. All right, so there's Coinbase. We talked about this yesterday, and we missed it again. If Renata, if you're watching and you got this, she gets all the ones that I missed. Like, oh, you're not long Baba at 75.20? But anyways, Coinbase up here at 260. We talked about that yesterday. It came in right there. It came in off open. We missed it there. And then we didn't trade it again. And then we didn't trade it again at the close. Absolutely ridiculous. But I'm like Neil. And no attachment. Okay, I'll get the sticky note attachment out in a minute. But the notes are there. Anyways, I don't want to miss it today. I just don't know if we're going to get there. You have to definitely watch out for Bitcoin to go. We have it down here at 72.8, so it's always going to be there. I thought that top would be around 73, like Neil mentioned, but Coinbase is weaker than Bitcoin itself right now. So I'm going to be fading any pops until I see a different relationship there. So I'm shorting Coinbase, and I'm going to put the order in right now up here at 259, just to sit there. So I'll get hit. And what I'll do is this. If I'm trying to take 100 shares, let's just say of Coinbase, I'll put 50 shares. So I'll offer 50 shares up here at 259 so that when it comes ripping up here and I'm trading something else, and this is what I do on a lot of different names, and you'll hear me talk about this. I only have a little bit, or it's a starter position. So I'll put some on here at 259 and then have a look to see how it's trading. And then if we really like it, then if I have to put on the other half at 258.50 or 258 because I like the level, then that's something that we'll do. Right? Like, I don't think shorting Coinbase when Bitcoin's going 73, 73 half, 74, 74 half, like it's ripping like crazy, then we can maybe wait for a pullback. But anyways, that's going to be my strategy on Coinbase, but I'm not going to forget about it. I'm going to put it in right now.
All right, let's talk about Intel here. Downside after the close yesterday as we get this announcement that, or reports anyways, that the Pentagon reportedly backing out of this $2.5 billion grant for the company. I mentioned earlier, it did move on this just after 4 o'clock yesterday, but not a huge move, just down to 44.50. It's trying to hold on to that right now.
Yeah, this is kind of a bewildering look because we were talking about having areas exclusive in the foundry that were going to be secure, where all these defense chips were going to be manufactured. Now we're not even talking about getting any money from the Pentagon. So it's left on the Commerce Department here to pick up the tab. They can choose to fill in that $2.5 billion that the Pentagon is backing out from. This all comes from that $53 billion CHIPS Act that was passed by Joe Biden, or proposed by Joe Biden back in August of 2022, Brendo. May not see as much money as they thought they'd get.
Yeah, overall, if you zoom out, a little bit better perspective, just back to some prior levels on it, Intel.
It is. That said, it would have been nice if this happened yesterday when we were shorting it, but at the end of the day, Intel, Huadunk, somewhat of a bounce off 44, and then a bit of a rejection above 45. So this is 45, 35. It was a weird day where look at the top and then look at the bottom. It actually ended up going right down to the day's low in the aftermarket on the news and then bouncing. So 44, like 44, and then 45, 35, like double top and double bottom. Well, the body's down here at like 44.65. And the pre-market high is about that level as well. So the first, to me, short is in front of that level, then the 45 even. It's more of a round number play, and it closed kind of in the middle here. And if it gets up to the top, I think take another shot there. Intel, it's going to be back underneath the 50-period moving average. That's the key. You're now failing the breakout of the 50-period on the daily. It doesn't mean that they're not getting this money, but bad news is bad news. The market's already weak. You failed the 50-period. It was the top of my list today. It was like the first thing with a catalyst when I sat down because there wasn't a lot, and this was an overnight catalyst. But when you reject that 50-period moving average and you now have that as overhead resistance, I think this could be headed back down to the $41 level, which we did say next time this trades at 41, I'm going to try longs off 41. Didn't do it last time, but look how good that's been. Got to get there first. So first level is pre-market high. Then I like that 45 even, but do not discount the double top. I always want to take multiple swings at this. I don't want to hold short all the way till it goes like $1 against or something on an Intel.
Yeah, no, dollar against would be too much. We took another fill right now. Our average price, we're working on it. Fabian's working on the board. So we are short Intel. So we're short Intel right now. I'm going to take another fill up here at the 200 period. And well, now that I see where this was, I put the offer at 44.85, which I guess at the time was in there, so we're right in the middle here. If we can get something around there, that'll be basically the first real position short. I'm starting to build one now, but again, Nvidia is bouncing back upside right now into 913 after making those bottoms. So we won't talk too much about it. Well, okay, we do have Nvidia coming up, so maybe I'll leave it, but there's the bounce off 905 again. So it really, really held that 905. It is giving me feels of what we did yesterday afternoon. So look out for a nice little run up here in Nvidia. And if that goes, we talk about this with the crypto market, but high tide lifts all ships. So Intel will, I feel like, go back up to the upside. I'm disappointed that this news, I'm not disappointed in the move down, but I thought, the report of the funding getting pulled would have been actually more dramatic than this. So I feel like this is fine. And I'm not like in love with the short. It is the number one idea on here because I was looking for catalysts. And I feel like out of all the stories that we have, and this is why it's the number one story besides crypto, we talked about that all-time highs, Intel has, a negative catalyst today. Will the market appreciate that? I don't know. And like what Neil said, I'll be out here just to break through 45. I'm not going to hold it too much through that. And then we'll look at yesterday's top because I'm going to trade with more shares on this name than normal. So if we break 45, I want to get out and then reassess it up here at this 45.25 because honestly, if I hold these all the way up, even 30 or 40 cents too much is not the right trade for me. So I'm going to wait on Intel. If it breaks 45, we'll reassess. But then I like the 45.30 short. So Intel is my number one trade idea with the best catalyst that I could find. Tesla, though, is also something that I'm looking forward to trading today. It's on the sticky note for the first time in a couple weeks here, going short on Tesla. Let's go get the story.
GXAI just made a new high. Gaxos acquiring rights to an AI-enabled technology from a top biohacking app. Regardless, this thing has 755,000 shares in its float. So squeezing, we'll say, for GXAI. Just keep an eye on that one. Yeah, Tesla bouncing off that low from yesterday right now. Wells Fargo with the downgrade. Today lowering their price target to 125. Oof. Ouch. Also worth noting, Berlin officially back up in manufacturing as of this morning.
Yeah, I mean, the Wells Fargo analyst Colin Langan basically saying we see downside risk to volume as price cuts are having a diminishing impact. Mentioned this at the top of the show. With respect to their Model 2, their next gen, he's saying Tesla's next major launch is the next gen compact SUV nicknamed Model 2. But he says the launch timing is a concern given that planning seems rushed here. So not a good look for them. Why are you giggling?
I'm sorry, I can't. Have you seen this quote from him yesterday?
No.
They're dumber than a doorstop or puppets.
About Tesla?
That was from Elon
Oh, okay, yeah.
in regards to the activist that set this fire.
Vulcan.
Okay.
Well, at least he's not holding back.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
I don't know.
The Berlin plant. First they take Manhattan, then they take Berlin. Not that they have a plan in Manhattan, it's just an old song. 170, we already talked about Tesla. I'm going to maybe say something about Rivian as well. So 172 breakdown. If it fails, that is last week's bottom. That is essentially yesterday's low. Didn't quite get there, but you guys get the idea. If that breaks, I want to have the short breakdown. And notice what's been happening above $180. If it gets above 180, it's been a fade. So instead of looking for breakouts, which I've been trying to scalp longs on 180 breaks and it just haven't really been following through, instead of looking for that, it has to get through like 84, and then 80 would be like a short zone. You should be looking for some shorts starting in and around there and some curls on Tesla. But Rivian is basically the same thing. It's just down an extra percentage point, and it's already at yesterday's low and potentially breaking down here too. So if Tesla goes, I feel like Rivian might not hold on to this $12 level. And it marked off 1240 because 1240 is where we were trading it off of yesterday, and it just would not flush off of that level. So if it were to pop, I might look for some kind of a short in a 1240 on Rivian like we were in the afternoon show. But until then, Tesla 172 break is in play. We'll see about any short to pop in Rivian if it happens. Big if.
Yeah, we have so position board working. Thank you, Fabian and Ramin, for that one. We just took another fill in Intel to get that board going. So, but all right, here we go. So Tesla right now, 175. That's where the 200 period moving average is. I wrote down on the sticky note that let's start the shorting in and around 176. That was sort of yesterday's close. I mean, yesterday's close was 177. But again, with negative catalyst, we could easily get a bump up. I mean, Tesla off the open is crazy violent. Like, this was so crazy. This is Monday. It went from 175 to 183 in the first half hour. Yesterday, it went from 180 down to 172. Again, in the first 15 minutes. So yeah, so I am sitting here to see if we can get a little bit of a bump up. But the catalyst is red, right? So maybe we go to the other way. Let's see what happens here with Tesla. If we do go to the downside, even though we're at 174, I'm with Neil. I think a 172 break is just too clean and too easy. So I think we got to take it. And if we take that trade, I feel like you want to hold it for a minute because it is going to be tricky. It's going to bounce around. It's not, I don't think it's just going to take this and then go another $7 like we've seen in the last couple mornings. But you have to watch out for that. So we'll wait. We'll take the 172 short. I'm actually going to put the order in now. What time is it? 9:17. Okay, close enough. As we get close to the open, we'll put in a short to there. But I would prefer averaging in if it gets into this 176 area. So that's where we're going to sit, 175.50. So I'm actually right now at 175.50. So please don't tell me this thing goes to like 174.30 and I miss it, but we'll wait on Tesla. I have it up and we're aggressively looking at it. The only position we have on is Intel, and the position board is correct.
It is.
Oh, good. You have it too. All right.
Yeah, it's and you can also obviously look at the dashboard at More Trade TV.
Yes.
That is also oddly enough, that's
been working.
When this wasn't showing, that was actually working the whole time. So if you were watching the other channel, you would have seen
exactly.
the Intel thing the entire way. But let's get on to what Yoda
So
thinks
many
of
ways.
NVIDIA.
Who's Yoda?
You mean, look at what it says on the rundown. NVIDIA B of A likes. Like that's how Yoda speaks.
Oh, it's not
NVIDIA B of A likes.
right.
Like,
So
it's
let's
not-
go find out what.
It's Bank of America likes NVIDIA. Only Yoda speaks backwards.
Right,
like
okay,
that,
I was
but
like-
apparently we do too.
Let's go back to May the 4th be with you. Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, trying to bounce right now, in fact, off that initial high, anyways, from yesterday for NVIDIA. Yeah, nice note from Bank of America this morning going to 1100. I mean, what more can you say about this thing? You were making a good point coming up next week. They have this event, so we're going to get 3 days, 4 days
4 days.
4
Monday
days
to
of
Thursday.
NVIDIA AI talk next week.
Yeah, it's called the GPU Tech Conference, acronym GTC. The analyst for BOA likes this. He says that the conference will showcase the expanding impact of Gen AI on the opportunities in re-architecting the global computing infrastructure. Important stuff here, guys. Monday to Thursday next week, we have this. So NVIDIA will probably be in play every day.
As if it's not already.
Yeah.
We need more reasons to look at NVIDIA next week.
The new name on the thing?
You know what's
recent IPO.
What's crazy?
NVDA. Okay, got it.
In the last 4 days, I've only taken like breakout trades on Nvidia. I had like that breakout that I scalped, and of course, when you scalp a breakout trade, either it looks great or it looks ridiculous. That one looked good when I took it out, and then I scalped that breakout trade for about $5.50 to here. And that's been working, like you're waiting for it to set up a flat top break and then just go with that. So there's plenty of other things to short, I think, if you like some weakness in the chips until it has a catalyst to it. I think AMD's got some juice as well. But NVIDIA, if it sets up a hold of 900 right now, if it does some kind of a dipsy-do that messes with everybody to the south side, maybe you look later on at a 930, maybe it sets something else up. But I really do think I'm going to stick to, like, well, obviously we already talked about Intel, but AMD cannot break. It seems like it cannot break that 205. Even the 204 level is setting up as a bit of resistance. I felt like if it were taking those out, that would have been a good breakout today. But if your support, it's resistance till it's not, and you can like a breakout trade all you want. Sometimes you just got to go short in front of those levels. AMD's got a lot of room to the bottom. Typically has a more defined range in there as well. You can pick your poison. I think all the chips are good, and then only because we're not going to have another chance to talk about it, ARM isn't on there anymore. ARM, no, it's fine. Anytime we have a chip name on there, we can just throw it in. But ARM, nothing really happened on the IPO lockup, with the exception of a big move at 8:30 when the economic number came out, and then when that market on imbalance sell order came in, that was actually the biggest event to the downside. And then after that, it's not that it's not like it didn't have any big moves, but those were the big events. So part of me is thinking, if you have another big sell imbalance at like 928, you might just want to maybe a quick punch in for a scalp trade there. Otherwise, 131 and 135, I want to short into those.
Intel's coming in right now nicely, so that's good as NVIDIA goes back down to 909. You're just looking at it at 913, down $4. You know what? We talked about this earlier. Daniel Ives. So here we go again from Wedbush.
Daniel,
He comes in on Tesla. So we just talked about, like, on our sticky note, on our watch list, is Tesla being downgraded to 125. Well, you want to talk about like upside down cake. Here's Wedbush coming out and saying, nah, I got you, Tesla, 315. So just to show you that there's so many different opinions on the name and on the tech sector in general right now. You'll get people downgrading Apple, upgrading Apple. Like, how do you have one analyst on Tesla at 125 and another one at 315? It's not even in the same realm there. So they have to be looking at different things, and that's possible.
But
that's what makes investing.
One thinks one's a car company, and the other one thinks it's Project Omega.
Right, exactly, and probably the latter is maybe more closer to that. Tesla is a car company, but that's a vehicle, I think, for all the AI and all the information that they're gathering, so on and so forth. But anyways, I just wanted to. That just came across the wire. So I was like, oh, look at that, Dan Ives. We talked about how important he is to the tech space for bulls. Anyways, and there's a bullish statement there.
Palantir.
But not much is happening right now. Okay, so I just want to look at, because we're talking about NVIDIA, Neil just did the levels there. AMD. So I have AMD written on here as a 205. But that's where we closed yesterday. Since then, down. Jamie Dimon is opening his mouth about Disney right now. Just say that he likes Bob Iger. He's on CNBC. So anyways, nothing happening. I just thought there could be something there. But anyways, AMD now looks like 200. It could be good level to trade around here today. So we'll wait for a gap into VWAP, which will have to be 202. So if AMD can get going up there, that's what we'll look at right here for advanced micro devices, as NVIDIA is still dancing around.
All right, a few minutes to go here. Amazon back to the upside right now. We're running into some levels from yesterday that came into play. On the resistance side, 0.4 right now, still positive though for Amazon if you missed it. Teaming up with Lilly, so mentioned as well, WBA downside, Walgreens downside on this. So they're going to use Amazon to do some drug delivery.
Yeah, it's going to be available within 2 days of the order. It's not the only website that's selling Lilly's Zepbound, which is their weight loss drug. There's another website as well, but this is another move by Lilly to kind of espouse that direct-to-consumer look rather than going through the regular prescriber channels. Let's see how this does, Brendo.
Market cap.
You know, Amazon is actually pretty strong here. We've been looking at the futures going down, and I thought it was just like Apple that was looking okay, but Amazon as well. It's not at yesterday's highs, but it's at the pre-market high right now on Amazon. Eli Lilly's not a day trade. So I don't know. If you find day trades on there, I haven't really found many that I like, but Amazon is, and 175 was ish support yesterday.
Here we go.
A little bit above 175, but 175 I think can be a support level. It's relatively strong. It's green when the market's red. Maybe it breaks out the high, but if this gets down on a dip and there's any kind of a market move up, it looks pretty darn strong. I was saying that Apple already looked good. Apple pulled back, and Amazon is still chilling out at those highs. I don't know that this story is the reason, as I mistyped that. I don't know if this story is the reason why it's that strong, but I almost don't care. It was super strong yesterday and held near those highs. I think a 175 is setting back up for AMZN on the bid. It's a closer level than Apple's 171, so that could be a nice little dip and rip. All it has to do is hold the pre-market low, which is 20 cents underneath.
All right. I was just writing down here that we are shorting Intel as it's trying to come back in a little bit. And it just bounced. So it's been up at the highs and down to the lows, and it's like 10 cents. So we'll just stay to the course on this one as per the sticky note. All right. So we'll wait here. Amazon. Again, I still, what was it, 173 was a big level there that we had talked about for Amazon over the last couple of days. Looks like it, yeah, so 173, or was it 172 was yesterday, but 173, yeah, there it was, so I remember that level. Has been a big level for AMZN. Looks like it still wants to hold it. So I would say you dip buy into Amazon. Actually, I have two long ideas now, Amazon and Apple. So both those names I like. Neil kind of hinted on both of those. And then the other name that we like in the Chinese space that we're going to continue to like is Alibaba. So Alibaba down to 75 I think is worth a buy as well. I did change the bull to a bear, but I'm not,
missed the super chat.
Again, super convinced about that. Tesla's heading straight down, or is that what someone's just saying? No, Tesla's not doing anything, but could be heading straight down. Not a bad take on that one. Let's go run and finish this up, and then we'll get to that super chat. I got to run.
I was going to mention happy IPO anniversary day for Microsoft today.
Oh, yeah.
1986, Microsoft went public.
Maybe we should give people that stat.
Oh, the $10,000 stat?
Yeah.
It's 42.7 million, if anybody was wondering. If you bought the IPO with 10 grand.
Feel really bad
depressing.
about myself. Yeah, it does. Guys, today on How to Trade, Adair and I are going to be talking about risk management in a volatile market. So make sure to check that out with Adair and I on How to Trade at 11.
Second best thing to have happened in 1986, that Microsoft IPO. The best thing that happened was a right fielder for the Toronto Blue Jays. Was the first Blue Jay to lead the American League in home runs with 40. Shout out to you, Jesse Barfield. That was my favorite player growing up. I will never forget when I got a chance to meet him. He's the coolest guy ever. Sometimes you get to meet like your favorite athlete as a young kid, and it's like, whatever. I met mine, and he was super chill. He came to my aunt's church, and what a down-to-earth guy. We want to thank Turin for the super chat here. Morning guest, isn't Palantir in the bounce area at 24.50? You're not necessarily wrong. Yesterday's low was a little bit further down than that, but you might be playing off of where it broke out from in the afternoon at 24.50. That bottom was closer to 24.30 on Palantir. So I look at it and see maybe resistance at 25 and a quarter for a fade, but I don't think you're dead wrong. That's where it bounced yesterday. George Bell, Jesse Barfield, bro.
Okay.
I just said it was Jesse Barfield. Anyways,
Lloyd Mosby, George Bell, Jesse Barfield.
As Sharif comes over and is like, George Bell. No, George Bell led the American. George Bell, the next year, was the MVP for the Toronto Blue Jays. But thank you for that super chat. I do like that support on Palantir, but the first thing that came to my mind was the rejection on that little flat bottom break at 25.30, and if it got back up there into the quarters, I'd be thinking almost a short. So we got less than 2 minutes to go. Didn't really see, nothing happen on ARM, by the way, just to, maybe there could have been a sell bounce, but there wasn't one, nothing happened. And there's pretty much nothing on the imbalance locator right now. YMM, which is a $7 stock, has an 800,000 imbalance, and nothing else is over $500,000. So I think we can throw that out the window in terms of gigantic imbalances. We got a lot to be looking at. Tesla 172 flat bottom break. Nvidia already heading to the downside and trying to test maybe that $900 level. AMD already cracked to the downside. Going to look to short some pops if we can in some chip names. And ARM is headed back up. So when there wasn't a sell imbalance, oh, I bet you somebody thought there'd be a sell imbalance again. And just, yeah, I'm betting you somebody thought there'd be a sell imbalance and was working into a short. No sell imbalance came, and they're having to punch out into a liquidity, to a lack of liquidity here on ARM, as that's starting to run upside. 131 and 135, those are the curl zones I like in ARM.
All right, well, AMD is starting to go to the downside right now as well. So AMD is down through 190 or into 198 right now, 198.50. AMD just tanked pretty hard there. We only have 10 seconds left, by the way. Oh, no, well, almost, sorry. And almost now. So now the countdown will start. But yeah, AMD up here at 2 bills. We'll have to watch out for that one. All right, Adara, here we go with only 5 seconds to go. Everybody enjoy the day. It should be a fun one. As this market's starting to go to the downside. There it is, nice little downside move for the market here off the jump. So there goes AMD breaking through 198, now trying to get back to the upside. Here it is again, waiting for 198. It's now open and the market is dancing to the downside. So far so good there. We did not get any love for Tesla because it did not break and it actually bounced again. Off of that 72. Intel's doing its dance as well. Here's Tesla, nice move back up into 74 area pre-market highs for Tesla.
Yeah, so much for that breakdown in Tesla. That's obviously not going to happen for us. ARM's still gliding upside. That 131 not in play just yet. Nvidia is actually coming to the downside. Maybe we'll get a shot at that Amazon, except Amazon only knows one way, and it's not down. Amazon flying, super strong name out here. Looks like we're not going to be able to get that one on the long. Unless we get a dip, maybe it'll come back in right now. I'd love to see it. Come on, Amazon, give us a chance.
Flying for sure. Let me see if did Alibaba only went up, so we don't have that 76 filling. Honestly, Intel has done absolutely nothing, so we'll wait for that one. We did get some super chats about Palantir, of course, and that's went up. So we had thought maybe Palantir would go the other way off some insider selling yesterday, but it's starting to go to the upside. Okay, so maybe Intel will give us some of these shorts that we don't mind taking. So let's try to get a little bit more here. We are waiting for something in the 80s on Intel. So we talked about that before. We're at 84, waiting to get some. And then if we take out 45, then we can get out of that one. But look what's happening. Yeah, exactly. Look what's happening to Tesla. Sorry. You said Tesla. Sorry, I meant Nvidia, but Tesla's also going to the downside right now. And here comes Nvidia. Watch out for Nvidia right now breaking. We also do have the Tesla short ready to go. We should have shorted that pre-market high there. We might get another chance as it just bounced again off 72. That's back-to-back bounces. It went to 172.50. And yeah, damn it.
AMD is tanking 197. This is falling like an absolute rock. Intel's going up, and this thing is going down like it's going out of style. ARM is not moving. I'm looking for an opportunity to short ARM, and we're not getting it. Apparently, Snapchat's making some power moves. Trying to be patient with this, and Tesla's not giving you any chance at a trade. I said maybe Rivian could be the one. Rivian's going to the upside. Rivian does not break and hold underneath. And let's not forget about Bitcoin. IBIT, no test of the high. I was looking to fade a failed break of the high. That has not happened yet. But Bitcoin actually headed to the downside. Everything is fine.
All right, Nvidia just broke. So, I mean, there's that name that we talked about, Nvidia today. Remember, I was like, oh, we saw it drop 40 or 60 bucks on us. So right there, it just dropped from 910 into 900 and wicked the bottom again, $3 worth of slippage. Again, gets you down to 897.50 right there for NVDA. There goes Tesla. It finally broke. Oh, no, sorry. Went up to the ups. I was like, oh my God, I'm short Tesla. I thought it broke 172, but we got short 175. So
what?
Tesla's ripping right now, and we are short. We were instantly in the money pretty decently there. And now not so much as Tesla's starting to go up to the upside. Now we have our stops on this one. We talked about this. Watch out for 177 on Tesla. So we're just going to breathe here a little bit on this name. We're going to watch out for 177 upside, maybe 177.50 to get out of it. So I'm happy with this. All right. I mean, I'm not happy as I'm out.
Oh,
but
Boeing's at 185 as well.
And Intel's at 45.
Yeah,
so things are
Intel just got to 88, I think I saw as a high. But here comes Boeing, and I didn't think this was going to happen. But some things, though you think they're going to be weak, they're absolutely strong. And that happened with Tesla. That's happening with Boeing. The high was 186 in the afternoon and a half. So into that range, I wanted to look shorting pops on this, and it looks like we're going to be doing it again in Boeing as we let it get higher. ARM is starting to make some power moves into 130. There is size at 130 on ARM. So if it does a fail break, up here, the 131, to me, that's the big stop zone. So we're going to look to fade ARM. We only want to be shorting ARM. So new position Boeing. Intel is testing. It got up to 92s as well. 50. And we got into Boeing. Let's see if we can get some VWAP there. Nvidia is crazy. Nvidia actually ends up holding out at 900-ish. It went down to 897.5. Remember we talked about slippage? It broke 900, got $2.50 down, and is right back above. Now it's about $1.50 above that price.
Hey, you mentioned $1 and what? That's pretty funny because there's your dollar club winner right there to start the day. We got one fill out, and there's Tesla. We took 75, so we took 75 cents on that, and it just printed 174.50. Look at this. This is why I'm saying about being patient, man. Like, it was just a dollar club winner when we hit it, and then it went back to 50-cent land. We also took a bid out at 70. We're lucky enough to get that on Intel. Let's see if that works. We're just trimming this out as it's not participating in this kind of tech. I don't want to say tech wreck because I've only been looking at chip names, but Nvidia right now just broke again through 900, and we'll just wait for what our biggest trade was supposed to be, Intel not moving at all. We'll wait for see if that can get going. Bitcoin 73, so fading out a little bit. We'll look at Coinbase when we get back from Madeira. Bye-bye Tesla, hopefully.
For the second day in a row here, we have Pinduoduo, PDD, really strong off the open with no particular news story. PDD up 8% right now. This could potentially be a bit of a sympathy play here for a name like Baidu, B-I-D-U being the ticker here. The premier of China, according to local resources, did go to Baidu's Beijing offices to look at some of their AI advancements. So that could be a sympathy play here, but nice look across the board for some of these Chinese ADRs, guys.
I didn't look at Alibaba this morning. I was looking at some Baidu and some NEO, but NEO never really set up for that breakout at 630. I just got a leg out there on Boeing at 184.5 as that came up and down through the 185. So there's the break of 185. There's the false move back in. We're able to get some out there. Alibaba, man, this thing, I should say, back up to 78 levels huge. 78's a huge level here in Alibaba. If we can break that out. Been talking about that for a while. Got to put that one in the pipe and smoke it. Apparently, Affirm is making some power moves as well, but ARM is now in the pocket. So here we go, ARM. ARM is now up to 131. This is the area that we're looking for the reverse on ARM. Going to try and catch it on the back end here. Just got to 131, looking for a false break on ARM.
Okay, so Coinbase just came in as well as, I guess we weren't looking at this. Tesla, by the way, was just $2 in the money, and we put a bid there now to see if we can get that. All right, so there's Coinbase. Sorry, I was at Tesla still. Coinbase just came in, so we're short right here at 59s. Let's see what we can do now. So there's a 59 short. There it is again. Wow. What is even happening right now? Now we're $1 in the money on Coinbase as it's printing the bid. $2 in the money, hopefully coming through on Tesla right now. Let's see how low Coinbase wants to go. I mean, I put another bid here, 57.70. We just got printed there at 40s. So it's not like we took a huge win. It was just 60 cents. Let's see if it continues to fade, because I'm sitting here looking at Bitcoin and thinking to myself, you're not going up anything here. So why is Coinbase going up? So there's Bitcoin right now. I don't know why this chart's doing this. There it is. So this is what's happening with crypto. This is a 1-minute chart. So yeah, we will hold on to BTC and see what's going on with that one. So far, so good there. As now, we are now $1 in the money on Coinbase. We are now almost $2 in the money on Tesla. And we're just waiting for the biggest and the baddest right now, Intel, to come falling in as well. Come on, man. We're bidding 173.60. Let's see if we can get that one here on Tesla. Tesla. Good start to the day so far. There it is. Oh, we got the fill. So there it goes, man. We will props that up as we are now $2 in the money on Coinbase. So this is going to be, again, all sticky note trades, man. There's nothing else about this. Coinbase 260 is written right on here. We're short it, and it's a monster. And we're also wrote down Tesla short 175.50. What are we short? 175.50. So let's see if we can get a lower print on this one today. Again, another pretty good day here.
Yeah, we'll take it so far. We'll see what happens with the rest of this ARM. But ARM fails 131.
Wow,
we get it out, some in front of 130. Now you're starting to come right back into the upside. Remember, they don't have to sell. They just might sell. And Boeing now $1. Back through the 184. I'm targeting 183 down here. That's where it broke out from on the pre-market trade. Let's go to Adara, who's got an update for us.
Big move up here for Rumble, RUM. Yesterday, this one was pretty strong after the CEO of the company said that he'd be open to, with a consortium looking to buy TikTok US should it divest from ByteDance. Today, we have a new catalyst on this name, announcing that they've had a strategic partnership here with QIN Shift, which is going to be helping with specifically its cloud to address some of its user needs. They also have a short float of about 5%, decent social media interest. So nice look here for RUM.
All right, there it is.
No bounce in AMD.
No, you're talking about it. Okay, so I actually put a bid out there at 80s. I wasn't getting the 173.60s, so I got a bid at 85 and just took it out there for $1.70 there on Coinbase. Remember, we only have 3 trades on right now. Winner, 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 and that sounds like a chicken dinner. So far so good here as we go today. Just keep doing what you guys are doing. Keep sticking with it. Intel's the only problem. That may not be a winner. So you know that this lobster could turn into coal real soon here, as Intel's going to take 45. So watch out for that one. The only name going in the oppo right here is Intel. So not really going well. And you just mentioned AMD.
ARM's starting to come back into the top here.
Is it?
Like
Okay.
The first leg was good when it failed 131, but it just came right back up to that top. Now remember, if it busts out from 32, I'm waiting for 35 to try another trade up there on ARM. I got to be able to respect those levels. We liked some long trades. Amazon, I thought Amazon 175. As the market's going down, Amazon's at 176 and won't fall any further. So I think Amazon, it's still relatively strong. It's just a matter of getting it on a dip somewhere that I like. I'm almost never devoid of opportunities in either direction. So I like relative strength and relative weakness where you can find it. Clearly, we're not going to get. Actually, no, I shouldn't say that. Apple's actually down at 172. Never mind. I was about to say we're not going to get 171 on Apple. But Apple is tracking down toward 171. I'm on the bid in front of that. That was the bottom yesterday. Yeah, we actually have a chance to get that. 2 seconds ago, I looked at Apple, and Apple was at the high. That's why I was going to say we're not going to get Apple. We might. I'm just going to rinse and repeat in front of 130 on ARM. So we get it out in front of 131. We're looking to catch something in front of 130. Intel's starting to come right back into the downside. But ARM's the one that's my concern, because
there it goes.
If everyone anticipates selling on ARM and it doesn't happen, then it has some squeeze potential, right? So we're headed to the downside. We don't want to. Oh, I'm on the wrong page. That is not look a gift horse in the mouth. That was a props up. We now broke 130 to the downside on ARM. Thankfully, that's going to hold up. I don't know what's happening in Bitcoin, but we're not going to get that fail break of the high that we're anticipating for a reversal. Bitcoin's doing nothing right now, literally nothing. But at least the 3 shorts are working.
Yeah, we just got stopped out through 260 though on Coinbase because it
260?
did. Yeah, it did break back
down.
up. I know that's the funny part about it. So I feel like we got stopped out probably where everybody else did there. So I tried to get back in and missed it. That's really too bad, because now it's back down to 258 again. We nailed that one. And guess what else we're nailing right now? Literally nailing this thing here. This is going to be, as I was just saying, I mean, let's hold on a second. It just bounced back up. We need to get some fills down there. We'll take a 72 and we'll take a 71. But we loaded the boat here with Intel. So good trade there on Intel. Let's see if Tesla will make it. And it's too bad because Coinbase, we took a 260 short and got hit at 260.50 out. So unfortunately, that busted us up into the upside there. So that's really a negative catalyst there for me on Coinbase to start giving me a little sour there. But all right, I think we got to go over to the desk, and we're going to look for some more trades.
Block Inc. getting a really nice move here to the upside on strong volume, up almost 5%. Some news with some of their subsidiaries and affiliated companies. So BitKey, which is this proto-Bitcoin wallet developed by one of the teams here at Block Inc., basically has started shipping their first units of their hardware device with some security and recovery features. Also, Afterpay, another company affiliated with Block Inc., now expanding for some new in-demand categories with some of their new spring merchants. So good look for Block SQ, guys, to the upside.
Okay, Square. All right.
Yeah, that's breaking 52-week highs. I'll say that's good news for Block. 84, that was your previous top. 83, close to 84. It doesn't really matter. So if it gets anywhere on a pullback and can hold the previous high, go dip and rip. So I like Amazon. Maybe we're going to get some Amazon because the market's weak. Maybe we get 175. But definitely got to put Square onto that list as well. I'm still looking for that bid on Apple. We might get that Apple to the downside. ARM is now starting to churn a little bit more down into the 128 level. You know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to bid that reversal spot yesterday. If it breaks 128, I'm going to trail it down there and see if it can go to 125. So I'm going to trail it on a 128 break, see if we can't lock in some more profit. Boeing is also working back into the downside. This one I want yesterday's low. The out in front of 183. I want to respect that because that could be a wipeout bottom and a reversal. So we want to make sure we grab the profit out in front of that 183. That's more of a target zone for me. As a matter of fact, okay, we just got it out, so we'll go back on the correct page and we'll ring the register. They're going to hold on to ARM, trail it if it breaks 128. There's no chill on Nvidia. I mean, at some point, if Nvidia keeps falling, this market is not going to hold up. As Nvidia cannot hold on to 900, AMD cannot hold on to anything either. AMD is now at yesterday's bottom already. Okay, okay, it's one of these days. I'm not trying to be long the chips right now. Someone else can call a bottom. It's not going to be me.
Yeah, we're calling shots with Intel right now and put some money on that name here as this is our biggest position, but our most profitable position by far right now is a $3 winner as we go diamond hands a little bit here on Tesla. It's breaking back down to 73. I want to wait to see this thing break 72. Let's see this really get going here to the downside and really put some damage here. Unfortunately, we talked about getting out of Coinbase. I am trying to get a little bit more, but I'd like to get it up near 260 now. I don't know. That was a weird one there. Unfortunately, there's the 260 short and there's the 260 out, almost as fast as we could get it. All right, so now Tesla's starting to go. I thought we were just going to be breaking through 173 there. It looks like we're trying to bounce off of it. That's a couple times now. I mean, I can clearly see that this is a level, but I don't really care. I think that we're going to go down lower than this here on Tesla. If you don't think so, then honestly, this is a great area to get the heck out. Like right now, I'm $3 in the money and staring it in the face. If that's an uncomfortable spot for you, take it out if it doesn't fit your sort of risk parameters, what you're looking for, or your share sizes, right? So I'm just trying to give some ideas here. This is one that I have, and I want to see if it breaks 172. I just want to give it that shot. But at the same time, it is resisting 173 here. So let's give it a little bit more action. If the futures continue to fall down, I mean, we're not anywhere even close yet to support on the futures. I mean, I think you got to get down to 8,250 before anything really happens. There's 8,300 there as well, but that's still 60 handles away. So that could be a level there. There hasn't been much, but then all the way down here, going back to, I guess, is this yesterday? What day is today? 13, so 2 days ago. These highs that weren't breaking, 8,250. So we could get into there. Here it comes right now. Here comes a nice move down, man. Let's see if the market wants to follow.
Another push to the downside, so I'm just going to keep trailing this. I think we're going to get this 126 area on ARM.
Oh,
it's
no.
continuing to fall. It's
Nice.
now $4 to the downside. It's down 2%, but this market is absolutely bleeding. Remember Nvidia 888? Well, we're here now. Nvidia is at 888. If you're trading this the last couple of days, you know what I'm getting at. 888 was the top 2 days ago, and then it tried to bounce off that level. I could anticipate a little bit of a bounce zone here. I'm just going to move my trail, which I thought I did, but I did not on ARM. So just moving that trail up a little bit. I think you're in a spot. If it's an opening range trade, I want to lock in the profit on this little bounce in the market. And if we're not going to get Amazon at 175, how do you like that for relative strength, Amazon? It is not even breaking 176. Amazon is good right now. Like it's not even red. I don't want to jump into the long right away, but it's starting to tell me if I see strength in the futures bouncing off 18.3, I'm just going to jam. I'm just going to punch long in Amazon. If we don't get 175, we don't get 175. As I said, I was moving my trail on ARM. It just trailed back out for me, so we'll lock in the $3 on ARM. Just gonna take the money and run. Maybe it goes to the gates of hell. You know, everyone has their own sort of trading style. I want to respect mine, because the last time on ARM I was holding for way too big a move, and at the open it didn't happen. Like, all the bigger moves were pre-market yesterday. So let's ring the register and go to the desk with Adara.
Strong volume here for the beauty health company. SKIN is the ticker for this one, up about 40% after its earnings. Inline EPS, sales beat. They did have a bit of weak guidance going forward, but there is a short float of about 9.7% on this name. So absolutely something that they keep in mind with regards to SKIN, guys.
All right, yeah, great trade there on ARM. I'm upset at myself because we wrote down 131 and 130 and I wasn't there. So good trade there.
So many things happen at the same time.
Yeah, no, it's a good trade.
I always say this: you can get, if you're shorting a spike at the open, you can probably just take one or two. Because like if Tesla goes up and spikes like that and you get it, then all of a sudden the other one that you're looking at, it's very unlikely you'll do two of them. And now Amazon's coming to the downside.
Yeah, it's too bad that Intel's not doing anything. Like, that was the
Intel's
one
going
that
to break
thought.
45. I'm going to lose on Intel because it's going to break 45 here.
We'll see. We've been taking some profits down here in the 70s, but I thought it was going lower. We had clearly talked about that.
I marked 44 even off today. I thought we'd.
Yeah, I have a bid at 44.14 right now. So I still think it's going down. We'll try to wait on that one. All right, I'm just going to put a bid now. So I've sort of watched Tesla do this dance. The day is still pretty early, but look at this market tanking here, and I can't get Tesla to go down. It's not that I can't get it to go down. It's not going down. So what's up with that? Either it's going to crack lower or it's not, right? So I'm going to put a bid now at 173. I know I said that we'd have to wait for it, but now that I'm seeing the market, just wicked down again, and this name is holding up, like that's not great. I guess a lot of the wreckage is right here, is with Nvidia and AMD. So I could see that as being a factor.
Nvidia bounced.
Yeah, Nvidia bounced huge. I was bidding 881, sorry. So I'm down here at 881 against 880. But I don't know if that's a very, very conservative play. We'll have to wait to see. Like, if you want to get Nvidia, you might have just missed the huge flush down. Now you get 3 candles in a row to the upside. We could still play some momentum here, I feel like. So watch out for Nvidia. And then I'm going to, I was thinking about AMD here, getting back to VWAP. So I think we'll try a trade there for this. So I'm at 196.50. So if that comes up another dollar into VWAP, we'll try it. We talked about the gap to VWAP. So we have to try that. So we're going to try that right now. Again, I just hate the way it sounds. That's why I say it like that.
I love the reaction of Sharif every time.
But shout out to Brian Shannon, who again did a Q&A with me. Was it yesterday? It was yesterday. Yeah, that was great. Yeah, people asking about Adobe, people asking him about volume and time frames and all that kind of stuff. So it's amazing. Like, there's another CMT that really just looks at VWAP, really.
It's a common question. I hear a lot of people that are looking into anchored VWAP, and one of the first things they always want to understand is what's your favorite time frame for an indicator like that. But it's a versatile one. I know even Obi's been looking at it. So the market is continuing to flush. I covered shorts, except for, Intel's in the money now, but trust me, that thing's actually been strong. Amazon's getting real close to 175. I'm trying to be really, really patient with it. Trying to be really patient with Apple as well. It's down to 171.80. If I'm thinking 171, let's wait till 171. Just got to keep it at that. And as far as ARM goes, it looks like it was a good out temporarily on ARM. It bounced, it held. So if it gets back above 120, maybe we can rinse and repeat. I don't want to throw good money at bad if that's the way that the saying goes, which I'm pretty sure it is. So I'm just going to lock things in and try to be patient. I feel like rushing into trades at 10 o'clock that don't set up, like I could chase ARM, jump back in front of VWAP, but that has not been the way to play this. It's been to wait for your key levels. Block was the other thing we wanted to get to. There's just no dip on Block. A little tiny one at 85. I was saying 84 because that was a previous high. And thank you to Adara for bringing us that news as this continues to be super strong. Square making power moves to the upside. Intel, I'm going to get some 70s here. Thank you.
Yeah, we are well positive now on Intel if it stays in this area. So we just got another fill down here in the 70s. Let's just see if it goes, man. It's been It's been a great trading day. We're just not trading too many names. Let me go over to Apple. That's the way I've been for a while. Apple coming into 171. I feel like that's probably worth something. So let's wait to see there. I'm still waiting for Tesla to start kicking down the aisle. Tesla, Intel, AMD, ARM, Coin. So I've looked and traded everything that I've wanted to trade here today. Come on, Intel. Intel's a big one for me just because of the shares that we have and the fact that it's not doing anything. So if this one finally wants to go, I'd be pretty pleased with that. So we'll just take another 72 fill there. Hopefully we can get to the downside now. I'm bidding nothing else. Oh, I'm bidding 65s and then I'm in the 30s. So we'll have to see if Intel does eventually flush. What's up, Adara?
Just be aware, there's a bit of a volume spike here on Faraday Future, FFIE. Not seeing any news on this one and not too much social media chat either, but it is worth noting they have a short float of about 32.7%. Keep an eye on FFIE, guys.
Randy's on the bid. If you, oh, wait a minute, never mind. Oh, I was about to say, if you remember Randy's call on Faraday Future, but that was at like 25 cents to like 37.5 cents a long time ago. It's now at 11 cents. Yikes. Yeah, about that. It's up 11%, but it's at 11 cents as well. So that's like every penny is 10 cents, is a 10% move on Faraday. This needs to get about 14 or 15 pennies before it gets exciting to me. Yeah, let's put that one on the back burner for now and go back over to something like an Amazon, which is an actual strong stock. You can't get to 175. I'm starting to think about where can I get into this if it's going to be a long. So it's held this level here, 175.5. If it can stair step it, put in higher lows, and start holding above VWAP and 176, that'd be one way to get into the long in Amazon. I think it's proven to me that I'm not going to be hunting for that one to the south side. Apparently Google's breaking out, so there's something else. Oh, yeah, Google. Alphabet's stronger than Amazon. I came in thinking Amazon and Apple today, and Apple's not nearly as strong, but Alphabet holding the 140. This could be something as well. If we look for things to short, ARM still sort of chilling out. Nvidia, 893, maybe the 900 level on the way back. AMD, I think, AMD's at VWAP right now, so maybe this could curl off 196. That could be a nice setup for a short on AMD, but it has to hold underneath 196. When these things make bottoms, they can absolutely rip some faces off.
All right, so here we go. Let's just have a look and see what's happening here because I'm still sitting in Tesla that's not doing anything, so I am thinking for a break lower. Is there any names you guys want us to look at? GXAI. I see Scott H talking about that one, trying to move around as well. So GXAI. Sorry, did I say HI? AI.
Oh, CCL broke that top.
GXAI. CCL, yeah, Carnival. All right.
Oh, man.
She ride it. A nice upside move here for GAXOS.AI. Right now, starting to go. So only,
Gaxos?
yeah, this is only 780. So I think Brendan brought this up in the pre-market here. Only 780,000 shares. So as this name goes, man, so does the float. And it's a low one. And there we go to the upside on GXAI. And by the way, here we go, man. We are bidding the net is skyrocketing, so we know this. But here we go. We are bidding right now 173/4 on Tesla. So one bit more of a breakdown. We can probably get that. I am debating putting it at 50 now that I see the bounce happening, but let's see if we can get a little bit more greedy on this one and wait just a little bit more here on Tesla. Breakdown lower, we'll get it. We're bidding 173.25s. So hopefully that will come in right now. What's up, Tisha? What's up, Monty G and everybody? Monty G's printing. We definitely like to hear that, so we'll go some bangs for you guys. Tisha's printing. YouTube is over there. Pfizer, says T-Money. And I was actually, look, I just typed in T. You see that, T-Money? Come over to my screen. Baby. You see what happens, T? This is what happens when I see you in the chat. You get called out right there, stock TEE. All right, so there it is, Pfizer. Yeah, what's up with this, Adara? Pfizer started going early. It's up 1.5%. Pfizer's been bottoming out. I mean, it's been an absolute POS if you've held this thing for the last couple of years, but So have a few other names. And
26, pandemic bottom, that's been the place to buy.
Yep, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's an obvious bottom. It bounced there in December. It just bounced right now. So again, an absolute nightmare for anybody holding this, but they have 3% dividend. No, who cares about that? But still, nice move downside here for Pfizer, maybe finding a bottom finally. Now getting above the 50 period, basically for the first time, and trying to hold it. So we were up here in January, but now you're trying to hold the 50 period. I would say bombs away there on Pfizer if you like it. You do have that 26 bottom, and you could always get out pretty smooth if that does happen. We are finally getting close to getting our Intel fill at 65 right now, but a nice move down for Intel. I'm actually going to bid some 67s and take some out and cancel my 65. So there we go. We get to 67s and we go see what's up with Adara.
I have news on Pfizer here. Basically, what I'm seeing here, the European Commission this morning approved Pfizer's treatment to help prevent young children against pneumococcal disease. So nice move here just on some, I guess, treatment approval here from the European Commission for PFE.
Thank you, European Commission. Thank you, VWAP. Just the old regular standard VWAP, not the anchor type, which I'd be interested to see what all-time highs in anchoring VWAP to the pullback on Nvidia would be really interesting. But I don't want to digress too much, but I really thought about that just now when you were talking about.
You do it. You have the chart.
No, I know. I'm thinking about it. I want to do it in the middle of the day. But AMD here, 196 and a quarter, and VWAP. It goes right to the one green candle at the open, and there's your top, and then pulls back in. I got 96s-ish, 95. 95, 95, oddly enough, is the price. It's working back into 95. I'm looking for 194 as a bottom. We didn't get back into ARM. Tesla's still going down. That's what I was going to get at. Tesla's going down, and Rivian, look where Rivian got to. I'll slap the big old fail on myself there. We were just talking about missing opportunities. Rivian went right to our resistance that we sat the entire afternoon short this level, looking for a pullback. 1240 has been a key level on Rivian. It goes right to there, missing by like 3 cents, and flushes. Maybe we get a second crack at that. If we got AMD, it's instantly $1 in the money because the chips are weak. Nvidia, if you're watching, is back to 890. This didn't even get to 900 on that last push to the upside. Yuck. Where could the bottom be? I mean, 860 was the bottom yesterday, I feel like. So that's not impossible. It really isn't.
So I had that AMD trade up at VWAP as well, but I didn't change my VWAP. I should have been looking at that, and then we would have been really cash. We had it up here. Remember, it was 176.50, but good trade there as it goes up to 196. But we are right now just absolutely murdering this. Up $2 now in the money on Tesla. Another sticky note banger right there as we mention it one more time before we go over to ADRs. Intel's going down.
Yeah, time to look at what we've been having with the markets this morning. We do have a bit of a move down here in the SPY, kind of curling, continuing to curl to the downside. Bitcoin, of course, still on watch. Not a lot of economic data coming out today. We do have the oil stock changes at 10:30, but other than that, pretty flat day for economic data. Tomorrow, though, we do get the PPI and some retail data, so absolutely stay tuned for that. Right now, though, it's going to be a lot of focus on individual stock movements, including what we have in Baidu and a lot of these Chinese ADRs. BIDU up almost 5% after local media reporting that China's Premier Li visited Baidu's Beijing office to look at some of its AI advancements. We also have moves up here for Carnival, though it's falling off a little bit here. CCL getting a buy rating from Goldman Sachs with a $20 price target. And last but not least, your Dollar Tree DLTR missing earnings pretty badly across the board here. Big move to the downside, about 14% down for DLTR, guys.
Yikes. Yeah, we didn't even mention Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree got its butt kicked this morning, but it was nasty. I mean, the earnings weren't fantastic. The margins weren't that good either. There we go. We just got 194th out. Take it to target. Everyone sort of do your own thing. I trail it to that point. VWAP down to the low of the day, and I'm going to ring the register and I'll look the gift horse in the mouth. I did see also, at the time being, that temporarily Nvidia was making a bottom, but it is no longer anymore. The shorts have paid off. I'm taking the money and running and looking for what is next, and it could be Apple. Apple is now, we've been very, very patient with Apple, and now the moment of reckoning has come in. Yesterday's lows, actually, never mind. This is 2 days in a row, the bottom on Apple is 171. Forget about just yesterday, and it's going to get there in about 20 cents or so. So Apple about to come in. It's been all shorts, potentially until, I don't want to say now because it hasn't got to my bid yet.
I should be a lot happier. I mean, this is going to be hopefully a big day here, and it could easily be. We can't raise the trophy now because of Wayne over there. This guy's killing it. But look at this, man. ARM short 130. That's $3, right? That's a $3 winner right there. Coin 260 short. I got stopped out, went down to 254. Again, too tight a stop, but that's fine. Apple didn't hit yet. Intel right now is going to be the #1 stock here, P&L wise. Tesla, that's now $3 in the money. AMD short off VWAP. Neil had that. Great trade, Neil. So right there, man, sticky note with prices, bang. It's just, I wish we had that AMD trade. We were watching out for that Tesla. We'll try to get AMD again if it does come through, but I really like that trade. And then Coinbase went down to 254. Thanks, Adam DeLuz in the chat for that one, making me feel better there. But we'll wait, man. We'll wait. Intel, we got to print. I mean, I should hold off on saying this is the #1 P&L name because, it's pending. We don't know how far this name's going to go down or if it just rips back up again for Intel. So we're going to have to wait there. Like I said, we loaded it up, so we're just getting out. Like when you go to VWAP, you go to the 50, then you go below the 200. I mean, we start taking those out and consider that a pretty decent win. So if we can get a little lower, we'll do that. And then here's the $3 banger for you. Right off the sticky note, the exact level 176. And here it is. So we'll see what happens now. Hopefully we can break through that 172, but I don't know. I'm here for it. We'll see if it happens. Tesla, I was wondering like why. Remember it was like so strong. We could have shorted more, but when you get like a differing opinion there, it does become hard to do that, especially against the strong market lately. We'll see if the market continues to bleed to the downside. Remember at the beginning of the day when the market was up here? And do you remember when this was a bull? Well, we turned that into a bear in the pre-market, and now we're down about 0.5%. So far, so good on that one. Let's wait to see what happens here with Intel and Tesla. But for now, that is what it is. New reloading coin.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Bitcoin is also. We're going to get. It's at 10 o'clock, but Bitcoin's actually starting a little bit of a bounce at the $41 level. But we took Apple. I'm not going to hold it much past that bottom. It did wick the bottom. Like it wicked underneath 171. Teens where I have it now and actually held the evens exactly. And the day before that in the pre-market, it held just underneath. So I don't think I want to give it too much room. Intel's working back up. If it gets back into the 45 level, we want that. See if we can't reload it one more time, but it's been strong. ARM did not break the lows, so it's actually tracking back into the upside. So I think that was the right out. Boeing, that is right. So we took the out on Boeing. Sometimes when I get out early, you're like, whatever, why didn't you hold on to that trade? We got out of Boeing in front of the pre-market breakout price, and then it made a new high. So it's just a matter of style. Like, what is your preference? I'd rather just make the decisions at the key price levels and try to hone in on that skill. Sometimes it's the right decision. Sometimes, again, it looks good, but if AMD goes down to like 190, then I don't have that. Now you're right back up at VWAP with an opportunity, whether I like it or not, to take it back again. But that is a huge, now double bottom on AMD that just put in. So I'm not going to race to throw money at this once again. We'll stick to some Intel, see if we can't get a little bit of ARM. Oh yeah, Amazon. Forgot all about you, Amazon. Amazon did hold VWAP.
Okay.
Well, I said if we got back above, I probably should have taken a break of like 176.10 if I'm paying closer attention here. I did not. If it can maybe pull back, give me something in front of 176. Amazon, we did like for some strength. Bit of a missed opportunity as that broke back out over VWAP and 176 even. That and Alphabet. Oh, never mind. Alphabet didn't hold VWAP. So Amazon did. Alphabet did. So I'm even more focused on Amazon. Amazon's up today. What can I say?
Yeah, Amazon was on the watch list there, that deal with Eli Lilly. Okay.
That's that big a deal.
Oh, man, I was just going to talk about this again. So those of you that were watching, I know Adam's talking about this trade again. We just got out, like Coinbase went into 260.50 there, so we got short at 261 and took it, but then now it's ripping to the upside, and this is why we said get the heck out if it starts to go, because Coinbase is really starting to go. And there it goes through 264. So the shorts, definitely wrong on Coinbase today, man. It's almost a long back into these levels now. We really based out there at 256 as it's going. So anyways, we're out of that one for the L, so we will slap a fail all over that name because Coinbase today, we're all over it to the downside. And it's just, we've taken it out twice for winners, but then got blasted to the upside for L's, right? So be careful. GXAI halts there at 14 or so, or 13.50, opens back up basically to the same price. It gets down to 13. You're going to wait for 12. That's where the 50 in VWAP is. But GXAI, again, with a real short float, starting to continuously making big moves here. So a halt is going to be 10% one way or the other. So feel like this has one more halt coming for sure today. It's already halted there, halted twice at least. So we'll have to wait to see if that's doing anything.
Affirm 40.
Yeah, Tesla's still doing the same thing. Coinbase is trying to bounce around. Nvidia is still at 890. And then AMD, again, goes right back to VWAP. And we were sleeping on that again. So I don't know. We're going to have to sit here and watch this if we're going to want to make a trade here on AMD.
Alert, thank you in the chat from Matt Booth, reminding everybody, well, at least reminding some of us, that Affirm is close to 40 bucks, which is a pretty monstrous level for Affirm. Since, like, look at this on a daily chart, February 20th was the first time it broke, and then it's been holding 40 on an absolute dime. I don't know why I have 39.50 marked off. I probably just put the line in the wrong spot or something ridiculous, but the $40 level is the big one. Let's just get rid of that. That's really distracting me. $40, we tested it last week. If we get there again, I'll look for a curl. IBIT is starting to go. Apple, I look to give horse in the mouth, Apple. It got to 1-to-1, and I didn't take it. I always have an offer at 1-to-1. And I didn't take it. So I'm going to deserve when this breaks 171, 100% there. And yeah, it is what it is. AMD did make that curl. Oh, we're about to get to reload on Intel as well. Oh, never mind. It's only at 80s. We want to get to 90s in again. I thought we were going to get a reload. But I'm about to get out of Apple. Apple's very, very close to cracking to the downside. It's Amazon that we should be long, and I'm going to try and rectify that if we can get something at VWAP. But suddenly, Affirm is at a monster level, one that I did not think we had a chance to get to today. So if it presses, I want a fail break or some kind of failure at 40. I don't want to stand in front of it. I want it to fail up at that price or maybe slightly over that price and then just look for a reversal. The 50 period also overhead on Affirm. Not sure why it's up 5%, but it doesn't really matter. A level's a level.
Yeah, that's for sure. All right, so obviously we're going to be in Apple here as well as it makes the move down in. We wrote down 171. We'd hate to not gav this one. But there goes Tesla, by the way, into 172. So this is a banger, man. This is $3. We're going to wait to see what happens here with Tesla. Obviously, as the market just continues to tank here, or maybe it does, I don't know. Intel will hopefully go down, but so will Apple, and then hopefully so will Tesla. So we're not... Like, I have one long in Apple, but that's because I like the level there. And we took some out, I think, at 10s or something like that. But there's Apple with the break back down in now. So we had this yesterday, if you guys remember, at this bottom. And then we got it out at 172.50 before it went to 174. Today just feels way different. Again, we should have just, the minute I get those feels, man, we should just be turning in and putting on the TQs. Like we had talked about shorting the NASDAQ earlier on. We even wrote it down on the sticky note that we were super bearish today. But again, the only long that we had written down was Apple, and it's right here at 196. So, or sorry, 171. So here it is, Apple in that 171 area.
Tesla just broke 72. I got out of Apple, by the way. Unless it retakes 171, I don't want to hold that one against me. Tesla broke 172. No. So I'm out of Apple. I'm in a Tesla. It's a break trade at 10 o'clock, so I'm not giving it the widest berth in the world. At this time of day, that's not the time to sit there and trying to hold it. If it's going to pop back up, I would have shorted off of 73 or 74, but we did take that break. I'll show you Apple. It broke. I gave it to, I think I had like a 94 or something like that. Maybe it was like 94 or 93. Either way, I got the price that I put. So not a lot of slippage on that, but I did not take any out of 1-to-1, and that was a mistake on Apple. AMD is still in the same range. Yeah, see, fail breakdown on Tesla. Not going to give it a wide berth. I don't want to fight things today. I don't want to take the money earned early and then start trying to fight something. We had 72 lined up for a breakdown trade, and if it's going to come back in and trend, then I think we can either have it at VWAP or maybe a secondary break, but I'm not going to hold an extra 30 or 40 cents against me. I don't want to be doing it at this time of day. As we have, what is that? Sorry. Oh, it's a TikTok thing. Okay, never mind. That just distracted me for a second. I wasn't sure exactly what we were showing there.
All right, TikTok. All right, we got back into Apple, and it's doing well for us here. So again, off of that break lower there, we got out, but we got back in. We saw this happen yesterday. The problem with Tesla here for me is that I forgot that we had another short in there. So we took a bid out there on Tesla, but that's why my average price is all messed up now, because we went short at 172. So you're going to see a wrong average price here for Tesla right now. But we're going to wait to see. Hopefully Apple will bump back up. If Tesla comes back in, we'll take another fill in and around 72 just to get some more out, and then see if it does work its way back in to the downside. But yeah,
Amazon
Tesla right now
broke
on a nice move back up, and then Amazon's doing something as well. Intel's
Amazon
back
broke
up.
the high of the day.
Intel?
No, Amazon.
Oh yeah, Intel's almost doing it too. Intel's up to 45.
I just got a reload at 93s on Intel, which we'll see. That breaks 45. I got to get out of Dodge. But I have to adjust the target entry on Amazon from VWAP to the breakout price. So if you're taking the stairs up, I would like to say the next trade is the first available dip that makes sense to me. And usually that's a dip in front of prior resistance. So Amazon continues to fly. This is clearly a super strong name, no question about it. For Tesla, now I'm looking for it to get back into VWAP. So I'll get out of that trade. I still only want to be short the name, but it has to get back into VWAP for me to jump back into it. So we risk about 20-something cents in there. I think we got like slipped to like 30, and then we'll go with that. Affirm, okay, now it's at the $40 level. We'll wait on Tesla. Affirm's at the 40, looking for an over-under, like a fail break at the 40 level for a curl. This has been screaming to the upside. Apparently, yeah, not really. Yeah, no news on that one. We have a poll up about banning TikTok. I don't know. I'll just vote no. I'm not even thinking about that one. Let's just vote no.
All right, I'll vote yes. All right, so remember, it's not a TikTok ban. I feel like, it's like an uneducated
Don't anger Sean.
thing to put up there.
Because,
But it's really stupid.
No, it's because they're
TikTok
calling
ban.
the vote the ban. But that's how politics works. But you gotta.
Are they calling it the ban? Who's calling
Yeah, I think the politicians are calling it a ban.
Are they?
In the verbiage. That's
Is
what,
it? I
that's
thought
what,
it was a divestiture.
No, but that's what Ted Cruz said. I mean, they say ban, the media says ban, because you want to make it sound big, anti-China. Like, it's an election year, man. Like,
No, I get it. I just think that I think we could change the verbiage.
no, we don't have to say it, but
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
an election year.
It doesn't matter. All right. So here we go. Tesla again. Despite this, Tesla's going to be the #1 stock here, and I think it can be even harder than this. Let's see if it goes down even more right now, as we just covered some more of Tesla. We did. We had it up here. We did punch the 72 short, which is why this price is what it is. But let's just see where it goes. Apple is making a move down. Now this is the thing. I still like Apple long, and we hit it back long, and we got out right here at 71.10, some of them. But it's fading right back in again. We're going to have to try to find some kind of levels here. And as I look like at a 20-minute chart for Apple, I mean, realistically, if you're going to try to do something, it's 170.50. But that's, you're going to have to decide how many shares you have and whether or not that is worth the hold all the way to the downside, especially considering the NASDAQ is getting hit here. Do you really want to be long this name? So there's going to be, some different opinions on that. But for me, I'm going to say yes, and I'm going to try to buy some more Apple down here against 170.50. The hit is fine because we made some back, but we still will be red on it because we're holding this position against us. So let's see if we get some more down here at 80, and watch out for 170.50 coming on Apple. That will be pretty much my punch out zone, but hey, who knows where it's going to go from here. Apple, hopefully back up to the upside is what I'm hoping for. And then we mentioned AMD. We mentioned Intel coming right back up again. It just touched 45, didn't break. And also we didn't get more short. That was a mistake. We probably should have got more short.
I got a tag at 90. I had 93s. I got a 94 actually. I thought I was on the offer at 93. It doesn't really matter. It got to 98 this time. So Intel's been trend up. We took a hit early on our first trade. We've been shorting it on the way up, maybe too early sometimes. It's been holding view up. These are higher lows. In my style of trade, I'm basically flat on Intel, even though we've had shorts that have worked out for us, because I don't want to get blown out if it breaks at 45. So I'll be essentially flat unless I load up at 45 here. I actually still have a bid at 44 even. That's stupid. I don't need that bid out there. That's useless. but it's trend up. And if the market holds a bottom, Intel could break 45, which I think would be a little bit of a surprise. A firm didn't get to 40. So, I mean, I was looking for, usually it breaks, sometimes like wicks the level, you already pull back a little bit, but AMD still working to the down. 5% down on AMD. Oh, but if you're looking for strength, where we talked about Amazon, I did that whole like patty ice, wait for the false breaks of even levels on IBIT. IBIT at 10 o'clock, wicked $41 even, goes to 40.92. That's actually, if you zoom out, what did it bounce off of? Afternoon high. It wicks to 41, bounces afternoon high, and there's your reversal. It does at least one of those types of move once a day, where if you can just catch it, you just long back through, give it to that stop, and then it just starts trending in that direction. So IBIT has done it once again. I missed that trade, but you had to be like absolutely glued to that one, that's for sure.
So Elon Musk right now tweeting out that Gigafactory Berlin is back online. 172.50 right now. Still holding. I thought that might have got this name going, but you are seeing a little bit of volume come in now, but it's not really doing too much. So I was still going to hold on to this, but we are well aware that there's a VWAP problem potentially here as well. So if it can come back up to the upside, we'll try. I mean, I'm just going to make sure because I haven't had the right orders pending here today on the right name. So we got to make sure that we do that again tomorrow for sure, and all day, of course. And that was, I'm just saying, see, I don't have any stops for Tesla, so this is what I'm talking about. I got to double check all this. So we'll go short again at 174. See, I saw that Tesla, that Gigafactory. I could have just punched out and I should have. But we'll try again right here at 174, but here it goes. Tesla getting going here up to the upside. Watch out for that Gigafactory news. Back online in Berlin. So nice move to the upside here for Tesla. I'm going to try 174.
I'm actually going to, because the news came there, I'm going to pivot to Rivian under VWAP because Rivian pulled back as well, and that looks like it's going to give us a shot at VWAP. Like high or low, look, we missed the 1240. That was the level we liked. Now it's underneath VWAP here at 18. So why am I using a midpoint on this? Okay, fine. It doesn't really matter. We'll just get, actually it didn't fill me at the evens anyway, so I didn't even get the midpoint. I just got some 15s in there on Rivian. We'll give it to the 20s. And see what happens. Because I think Tesla needs to calm down after that news a little bit here. So I'm going to sit in Rivian. Affirm is still falling. Amazon has not much chill, but now it's holding 77s. This could be the dip back into the previous top on Amazon. Still up almost 1%.
Bing bong. Goes Apple right there up to 171.15 right now. So we'll take out some more there as this has been the top for Apple. So bing bong goes Apple. We'll have to watch out now for Tesla. We talked about that. Intel's at some levels where we'll reload it as well. But let's go Apple for everybody there in the chat. Let's go. We're barbecuing it up now on AAPL. Let's see if we can make that story cook here. As that was one of ADRs lines. That was a good one. Let Apple cook. That was a really good one. So we'll wait to see if that is happening here for Apple. But Tesla's trying to make that move up to 174. And Apple is right here. I'm sorry. I thought I was on that stock. But apparently I am not. Let's go over for the small cap recap with Miss A.
IWM to the upside here, about 0.6% to the upside. We did have that big volume candle to the downside, as you can see here about 3 minutes ago. But other than that, continuing pretty strong here, though we are seeing a little bit of resistance at the top area of that channel. So many small cap runners to talk about today, including Gaxos, we heard about earlier, Microcloud Hologram, HOLO trying to run again. But we also have other new names to talk about here, like Veritone, VERI, this one up almost 80% after reporting its earnings. It's also worth noting, have a short float of about 14.4%. So that could be part of the story here with VERI. We also have to talk about Alt Alliance, AULT, this one trading on the Amex. This one saying that they've now terminated their at-the-market offering, and now looking towards corporate restructuring. They have a short float of 38.2%, so massive short float here for AULT. And last but not least, Trust Stamp, this one IDAI, very volatile name here, but they're trading higher after announcing that they're releasing a new AI-powered age estimation technology. So cool AI story here for IDAI.
All right. So by the way, like we thought we were doing pretty good with Apple. Apple just went into the 30s right there. So we were actually able to get a 25 out. So we sat there, took that 25 out, and pretty happy with it so far, as we'll wait to see what Apple does right now. Hopefully back up to the upside. Still nothing going with Intel. Still nothing. Well, something going with Intel. We got some short more short. But we'll see if that does anything now as we wait for Apple to do something and Intel to do something as well. Intel's up to $45. We haven't looked at Nvidia very much today. We looked at it early. I was still waiting for an 880 move, but that could still come down, man. $10 more in. We've already been down there. I feel like that would be a level that we could trust. 885, something like that. You want to take shots on these names, but I've learned my lesson. Like you either got to get out quick or, trade down on your size and see if you can get it going somewhere else. But I'm going to wait for 881, 882 and play off that 880 bottom. I actually don't think we're going to get to that level, but
880.
Yeah. I mean, that was just another psychological level. The lowest we got was 884.50. So we'll wait. It still could come in. I hope it does because we are short Intel.
You sure it didn't go to 805?
Yeah, no, that's what it said on our screen, I know. No, I'm pretty sure about that. But the one thing here, though, is Apple. I'm actually okay with it going down because we did get some out on the pop here. I'm never okay when you're long and the stock is going down, but it's sort of helping out our Intel trade. But Intel, again, if we can get something at 80 now with the amount of shares that we'd have, we'd be pretty fine with this. But watch out for Intel trying to break 45. Wouldn't be a surprise if it does get to that level. So
you're looking at the level 2 on Intel and you see 100,000 shares there. That's nothing for Intel.
No,
it's going to chew through that like a hot knife through butter. 1 million shares would be a different story.
I
don't want to interrupt, but I did get the dip buy in Amazon that dipped, got to 1-to-1 and reversed like quick time. So I think maybe VWAP will be a little bit better entry. This was just the opening range top that it was trying to hold. So it got into 176.60. I got the long out in front of it, just in front of 71s. It got into the mid 80s, immediately found a seller. So I just sold some shares. And then when it got to not break even, but the local bottom, I just got out. Now I'm waiting for VWAP. I'm reloaded on Intel in front of that 45 level as well. But I think at this point, taking some out, hit enter twice, taking some out into the 80s, into VWAP, is going to make a heck of a lot of sense. This is an upward trending stock. It's an upward trending stock, so you take a bulk out, you wait for the top to get out, to get some more shares. But eventually, this could just take out the top and even look like a breakout. Christopher, yes, we forgot all about Palantir. Oh, Palantir's right at 25.
Oh, God, wow.
For the second time. Failed break and got to 02s, and it comes right back there again. Yeah, that 25 is a better short this morning than Intel 45 has been, if we're being real about it. Yeah, 25 is pretty good. Imagine we'd actually said that and then done it like we said.
All right, I'm about to dig even a bigger hole here because I don't understand what's going on with Coinbase. It's just going to the upside
Bitcoin's
here. I'm not even seeing
literally
Bitcoin
nothing.
doing too much. So I'm going to try to play this game here, but I don't. We've already lost on Coinbase, so I'm not in love with this trade. But if we break higher, then that's the trade, man. So we'll see. If it gets through 268, then we're gonna punch out one more time.
270 is a big level.
So,
big level.
Yeah, I just don't want to. Yeah, I'm not. And maybe you have to give this one the Nvidia treatment, where you just take less shares and be careful with it because the spread is 50 cents, if not more. So watch out for that coming through again. All right, so I'm just going to bid Coinbase and see how low can she go. All right, wait a second. Here's Coinbase. Sorry, was I not on Coinbase there for you? Okay, here's 264. Maybe we can get a 264 bid on Coinbase and take $3. So here it is. Look at that short. We're instantly in the money now, $2. So we'll see if it can come back down into 264. I'm just going to put a bid there. Sometimes bids fill, sometimes they don't. Let's see if we get lucky on a flush down for Coinbase. That's a name there. Apple just came up and we did not get a fill. I thought I was offering 10s. I'm offering 11s. It went to 10s, so went to 9, sorry. We'll see if Apple gets going. Tesla trying to make a move and then Intel nicely fading back in. We said that we'd get some out if we could on Intel. So
I just took 85.
Yeah, right here is not bad. We'll wait for a little more, but yeah, nothing wrong with getting some 85s. We're short here at 90.
Yeah, I just got back in 96, took some at 85. I'm going to get more shares out in front of VWAP because this is the trend on Intel. Higher lows since the open. It doesn't matter that I think it's bad news. It doesn't. Who cares? It's an upward trending stock, so you got to take the profit and understand you're going against the grain there. We'll take some more profit. Try to hold some for the low of the day if we can grab that. We forgot about ARM a little bit, but I'll get to that in a quick little second. I did not get that short in Rivian. Well, I did get the short in Rivian, but I did not get back in when it wicked me out there. Got up, went to the can, and might have missed that chance. So I got wicked out for 7 cents. I should have jumped right back in. I will try to rectify that if it's going to give me something right back into those teens. Apparently, PanW is strong, but my attention is going to be onto A, Intel, and then B, we were just sort of talking about Palantir at the 25 as well. So that level looking quite juicy on PLTR.
Okay, we'll go there. We'll just take $2 immediately on Coinbase. I was waiting for 264 flat. If it wants to dance around 265 here, I don't have much patience for this name because we've already got nailed on this name. We were shorting it. Look, big wins, right? Like, how are we into this short here? We didn't cover anything for $4, so let's do it now for $2 and then see if it gets lower. We're just covered at 265. We're short 267. You guys can see it. Let's put that on the board right now and get that damn bear out. All right, so here we go. Thank you, Mr. Randy, for coming through right now. You're not, okay, good. Do not turn that guy around. We are very, very bearish here. All right, so here we go. What's up, Randy? I hope you're having a good day. All right, so Tesla's trying to come back in. Intel, we did get a fill on Intel down there. But Tesla today, Randy, they just got their Berlin gigaplant back up. So it didn't really, it created a little bit of a bump up there. We're still short from up here. Props it up, Randy. There we go. Thank you for that one. And then we go to the short on Tesla. That's going to be the big trade for me for the day. Unfortunately, not unfortunate. We did have that trade there, so now we're sitting in it. But, we were waiting for 174, man. That one, yeah. Should have got a little more aggressive on that one. But okay, there's why we take out a Coinbase, guys. Honestly, if it wants to fall down, let it fall down. We're going to go 2 to 1 on this one, as Neil was mentioning there with Apple. It's like we took $2. We talked about getting into this trade and our stop being 268. But the difference with Coinbase stop at 268 is you're not going to get printed at 268. You're going to get printed at like 268.40. There it is. They have enough votes now to pass the TikTok. Here's a word, Neil, that Benzinga just used. Crackdown.
Okay. Yeah,
so let's just see if anything's happening right now with Snapchat as they crack down on TikTok right here. But all right, so again, it's just an approval. They still have to get the plan of action. We'll hear all about what that is soon. But Snapchat again saying really hold my beer, but the move was off the open. We could see if Google and Instagram and it's just called Stories,
Snapchat's
right? YouTube Stories or Shorts, I think. Yeah.
YouTube is short.
Yeah. So again, Google, everything just got off early. So all these names just really got off early. So there's Google up to 140. I'm really happy with that trade. It's a green day here, but it's going to get a lot greener if Tesla finally breaks through 172 to the downside. So let's go. Apple. Bleh, not doing much there. We should have got out at 10. We'll put another offer there. And here we go. Crude right now is now out. If you want that, Adara, I can throw it over to you. She does. Okay, so let's go over to Adara as crude releases right now.
Yeah, thank you, Sean. I do have the crude releases right here. EIA crude oil stocks change negative 1.536 million versus the consensus of 1.338 million, so lower than the consensus here. EIA crude oil imports change negative 0.241 million, so also lower than the previous. And then we also have gasoline stocks change, so negative 5.662 million, also lower here than the previous and consensus. So big move to the downside here for these crude oil gasoline related names.
Come on, CVX and Oxy. Still looking for the rest of the Oxy, or not the Oxy pop, the Buffett buy on Oxy, which has been okay, but it hasn't been that great. Ooh, I just got back into Amazon and somebody just got whacked on the bid at the evens, and they just put another bid at 45. So someone just bounced off of 40s here. So when it got back above 50, I creatively got long when it broke back above 50. And then someone just stepped up at 50 again and got hit. They put an order at 45. We'll see if they get filled. And it gets them out if we get to 1-to-1. Don't want to look this Intel gift horse in the mouth because Intel, if the market goes up. Okay, I'm offering 90. I'm just going to cancel this. It went right back up to 96, and this time I offered 97. And you can see it went right to 96 and is pulling back in. So we We missed it. It's been getting so close that you feel like you're going to get the fill when it gets up there in the high 90s, but we did not just get it on Intel. That's a bit of a swing and the miss there because you want to get that price. You can't even sniff VWAP on the other chip names. Meanwhile, Intel's at the high of the day, so you got to be careful with that. If you get VWAP again on AMD, I still like it. I took the money and ran in that one. Boeing is still actually strong, so I'm not even thinking about shorting Boeing again. Sometimes you get away with one there, where you get a trending stock and the plan works pretty much 85 fail to the breakout price and now it's upward trending. I'm not going to fight an upward trend. Amazon's now starting to get back into the high of the day. If it gets and breaks 177, I look for the top. VWAP to the top is what I want to see here on AMZN.
Yeah, I see everybody. What's up, Manuel? What's up, everybody? Tesla breaks 172. So here we go, man. The stacks are just getting stacked right now on Tesla, but I'm not bidding anything until $1 lower. Let's see if we get a 170.50. What's up, Abe?
Yeah, I do have the crypto update here. We do have, in terms of Ethereum, a little bit of news here. This Denkun upgrade, very highly anticipated, does go live in the Ethereum mainnet. So basically just adding a little bit of scalability and reducing some transaction costs. So interesting update there for Ethereum. Bitcoin itself, we did make a new all-time high earlier in the session. So in the pre-market here on Wednesday, now down here well below that 73,000 level. Right now, about 72.5, below 72.5. Ethereum also falling below that 4,000 area. BNB strong though, up about 10%. Solana up about 1.5%. Cardano about flat on the day, Ripple to the downside. So very mixed picture for these other cryptocurrencies. And we are brought to you by Benzinger Pro. Sign up today for 50% off their premier news and research platform for retail traders with code TTV, capital letters. Use the link in the description to go to checkout.
Not moving.
Yeah, thanks for that, Adair. We were just $2.50 in the money. We'll hit up Diamond Hands, but Diamond Hands is pretty stupid. It's just fun to put up. You know, there's a difference between having like ins and outs and holding something forever. So I'm going to wait. I still think that we can get lower on this name. Wow, here we go, man. Apple. I consider this pretty good. We'll hit the Diamond Hands for this one. We get up to the 50 period and take some out. So now let's hold it. We still have exactly half of Apple left if this one goes. Coinbase, $2 in the money. Tesla, it just bounced off 171.50. We could have taken that profit. We did not. So we're waiting for lower, man. Let's just see. Finally, the market starts to go to the upside and Tesla's going to the downside. This is not the time for me to get out of Tesla. We're going to wait to see if it creates a little bit more action here on the downside for TSLA. Apple's really starting to go. Intel, again, man, we got another fill at 85. Like, pathetic that this name.
Higher lows the whole way. It's going to break out the top.
Yeah, it sucks. I mean, whatever. If it breaks out, we unfortunately won't be positive on it because we're still holding it. So we're going to have to wait for this 45. I'm not feeling good about this name. It sucks that it was my number one name, but we'll see what happens here with Tesla. I mean, this was a number 2 name. This is going to be P&L 1. We talked about that. And Neil mentioned this too before. If you have a number 1 or 2 or 3 ideas, and I think Adara mentioned this as well on the midday show, sometimes, you know, good trades will be boring, bad trades will be boring. But at the end of the day, you know, if you write down ideas and those are your best and worst trades of the day, I think at least you're looking in the right spot and you just either have to trade it differently or, you know, figure it out. But that's why you want to do some research after the fact to figure out, hey, did I use too many shares? Why was I so eager about Intel? Why was I not more aggressive on Tesla? You know, what's going on with Coinbase is going so high up here today? So anyways, always do that work. You know, put it in and you'll be able to figure it all out. Like, this is why we've been able to be patient with our trading as of late. And despite this kind of a day right now, I'm not going to jinx anything. So let's wait to see what happens with Tesla. And then we'll update later. But for right now, it's a good day. It's a very green day. We've got Coinbase is now, guys, Coinbase is now $3 in. So we take it out for 2 to give us that 2 to 1. And now we're at 3 to 1 on risk to reward. But remember the slippage there on Coinbase. That's something that I think we always have to consider because it's a dirty one. All right, we'll punch a little bit out on Intel at 84 because why not?
It can't break.
Exactly. So
someone's buying it in front of 80s on it.
You know what? If it slips though, Neil, I think it could drop down quite a lot.
No, it's got room to like 60. It does 25 cents room. Let me get to that before. Look, you know the price that I shorted Tesla again because it's 172. But Intel, there's buyers at 44.80. There's simply zero question about it. But if it breaks that, I don't see any reason why it's not going down into the 60s. I'm not even wasting time putting orders at 75. It's just, this is where I want to get the bid. I'm just going to get there right now. I'm just going to put a bid at 65, and I'm just going to leave it there because that's where I think we could get to. But it's been an upward trending stock. This was my best idea today. It's the one I've probably traded the most. But at the end of the day, if it gets down there, I'll be barely green on it. No matter what, I'll be at worst a very small hit because I've been taking profits and I've gotten the stop outs when I had to. But it has been upward trending, and I do not like fighting stocks. I fought it more than Boeing because it was my top idea. Boeing also did not hold the same level. Boeing held that level once, and then it broke the top, so it's not like it would have been the same price. Tesla's going to break, never mind. Tesla broke 171. It's heading towards $170, which if you look back to, wait a minute, that's not 170, that's 169.
Exactly.
This low on the daily is 169 quarter. So that's where I think we could, no, that's just a bad wick. 170 is a resistance level. For me on Tesla, it goes against, I get out, you can always get the trade back in there again. I canceled the offer at VWAP because some news came out on it, and I didn't want to take it against the news, but it would have worked out just fine. So I'm going to hang on to this till 170, take the profit and run. Amazon cannot seem to now break 177. So it's been a relatively strong stock, but it's starting to struggle with the 177 even. If it pops through there, might have to take the profit on Amazon. Not nearly as strong as it was earlier on in the session.
Yeah, I see that, Alex Karp. I see that Scott H. Alex Karp will be on CNBC, who is the Palantir CEO.
Got to watch out for
at 11.
He might make it break that 25.
11 o'clock, Alex Karp. But the thing is that I would fade that because everyone knows about it right now. So that might have been what this was. We'll see. It's out right now. They're advertising it, so it's not like I'm not telling you something that shouldn't happen. But it's not our program. You know, I'm gonna call Alex and figure out if he can come on, because you know what? We're trying to organize Kathy. I know she wants to come on. I'm waiting for ARK to perform a little bit better. ARK is the third largest. It's the third largest sort of degeneration of capital wealth in the history.
Destruction, I think, is the word.
Yeah, destruction of wealth in the history of ETFs. The first one is there's some sort of a short, like a triple short NASDAQ one that's obviously, but I don't think those should count. But
no, they need to count because
they shouldn't, because it's a triple levered. It's like saying
because
like,
we know, because it tells you that it's dangerous. It tells people that it's dangerous.
for sure. But I just don't think like then some of those triple X ARK ones would be higher than hers too, right? So I think you got to be careful with some of that. But anyways, we'll have Kathy Wood on the show very, very soon. Maybe not. What's up, Adara?
Yeah, just an update here on that TikTok bill. The U.S. House has voted 352 to 65, so 352 to 65 to pass that TikTok crackdown bill. So it very, very overwhelmingly a pass there for that bill, guys.
I, for one, am shocked.
There we go. Adara goes with the crackdown. I like that, Adara. Much respect for that. Okay, so here goes Intel. We said that there was room to crack. So here we go, man. We will put this into the gates of hell right now and see if Intel can get lower and lower and lower. Like I said, the strategy here is what it is. We've already sort of taken the profit here on Intel, but you know, we'll wait for it to go lower. We are positive on the name, and you know, you have to be happy. And we talked about this. Every time your best idea prints for you, it's been a pretty good idea. So we'll wait and see if it continues to do that as Intel trying to go back downside. The only problem with Tesla is nothing. It's actually, I thought it broke back above 170, 150 there, but it didn't. It came close. I was going to say I'm bidding now 170 because, you know, so many key levels come into play here. I could see an easy bounce from 170. Remember what happened? I know, Neil, you had this as well when it broke 172 and we took the L on that. That could happen again because
I'm getting out at 70 because of that.
Exactly. So that's what I was going to say. Like that key level break actually went up $1.50 from that. We're waiting at 74 for the reload. So I just think if this can come close enough to 170, 117, something like that, then we can take it out, not worry about the bounce, and deal with it from there. So far, so good here today. Really pleased, obviously, with trading. And when we get back, everyone will figure out what's for lunch. But for now, let's go over to the desk with Adara.
Pretty pretty weak here across the board for a lot of these mega cap names, with the exception of Amazon teaming up with Eli Lilly for some of those drug deliveries. So good look for both companies. Other than some of that mega cap weakness, though, we have a lot of strength across the board. Energy minerals, pretty strong here. Pretty much all of these. Utilities looking really strong. Process industry is pretty green here. Finance even, we have a lot of strength. Retail, trade. In terms of weaker sectors, consumer durables being led to the downside here by Tesla after that Wells Fargo downgrade from equal weight to underweight with a $125 price target. There's also a lot of weakness to discuss in electronic technology with Nvidia, Broadcom, AMD, all these chip names being brought to the downside here. Intel, we did have a negative catalyst, but one of the least weak here. There was a report from Bloomberg that Pentagon may pull that $2.5 billion grant funding for the chip company. Boeing also continuing to the downside there with an ongoing week of bad news following a pretty rough 2024 for BA thus far, guys.
All right, I just want to talk about Coinbase just there it goes. Okay, so you see what I was talking about there on Coinbase? We waited for lows there, and it bounced off the 50 period and then just ripped up through 268. So, you take the shot. Shout out to Adam and everybody out there that was in this name potentially. You take the shot there and it doesn't work out. That's Coinbase. Now, look at this, up to 270. Like, do we want to take the shot again? The only thing, maybe, right?
IBIT's literally not moving.
The only thing... Yeah, but see, Coinbase is hot fire, man. Someone's in here buying this name, and I don't...
I'll give you one guess.
Yeah, exactly. We'll find out tomorrow who that is. I'm going to phone her immediately after this. But all right, so...
Chill, Kathy.
Yeah, Kathy, come on, man. We're going to have one red name. And
this is not value here.
Come on, Kathy. I mean, what did we talk about at Thanksgiving, Kathy? Come on. Like, I thought we would not stand in each other's way here.
Not Thanksgiving in the elevator.
Yeah, no, but the last time we actually sat down and had a decent dinner was Thanksgiving. So, but anyways, all right. So
that was something that came up in the podcast. Who would you rather?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Who would you rather get stuck in an elevator with? And it was Kathy Wood or Warren Buffett.
Right.
It's just about who's more interesting. Like who do you know more about?
Yeah.
Like it's like if I know everything about a story, like I don't know everything about Warren Buffett, but I know a heck of a lot more about Warren Buffett than I do about Kathy Wood. And that probably goes for most people. I got out of Amazon here. I don't want to jump back in at this price. It was plateauing, and maybe it's being a little bit too bearish on the trend, and we gave it up. Maybe it comes into view up, but it just was decelerating big time. Tesla's catching a bit of a bounce.
Is it?
Gotta watch out for Nvidia's catching a bounce here. This is a day that I do not want to be fighting. Sometimes Nvidia would get to 900, and I'd be thinking, hey, why not short the pop here? I'm not going to do it. I don't want to throw good money at bad. So far, I haven't had a single loss that was as bad as even the second best of the wins. I don't want to do that right now. It's got to set up really well. So if Nvidia curls, and I already see it starting to show weakness, and I can get AMD off the same level, up at 196, maybe a patient short is going to make some sense for me there. But I don't want to just jump willy-nilly into something. A firm is now over 40. I feel like I missed this trade, so I'm not going to throw good money at bad. I missed the 40 short. There it is. It went to 39.94 and it pulled back to 39.20, almost at 39 even. That's the trade. Taking it here would not be taking the trade I meant to. That would be just jumping back in and chasing money that she could have had. We've been able to do pretty well here. ARM, just going back to ARM, this hasn't given me any kind of an opportunity to get back in. We got 31s to 30 to 28, and I'm waiting to see what happens at 31 again. So just trying to be very, very patient. Let's see what's going on here. I keep saying Bitcoin's not moving, but I don't actually show you what's happening. I'm gonna show you guys IBIT. So this is what's weird. Like you're barely doing anything. You had a wick bottom and then a break back out. Now you've got resistance at 41.5. You got a lower high being put in there. Unless this breaks out the top or tests 42, I don't really see much of a trade. Disappointing, because I thought I'd be looking at this and trading it after a couple of decent trades yesterday, especially in the afternoon, and then nothing is happening here on IBIT. Here's what it is.
All right,
Jesse Vale saying you literally called out the Affirm short yesterday, and I was going to jump in it, but I was scared. The thing about a trade, you can call out a trade, but if you're not looking at the level 2 and you're not on the stock when it gets to the level, as a trader, then you're just not going to have it. So we say, I'll look at a chart and see something that I like, but if I'm trading AMD at that moment, which I promise you I was, because I was trading that stock all day long short, and trying to keep the stops tight on that one to mix success, you're going to miss out on some trades. That's just part of the game. So you're no worry. I mean, I missed it too. And here comes back to 172 Tesla, by the way.
I thought that super chat or that comment was going to be about how come Sean always has $1 plus winners on Coinbase and yet always loses on them. So Coinbase again just went $1.50. Here it is again. It's right now it's $1 back in. It just it has to get to 267.70, but it's done that. And we got something out at 268 flat. So that was good. See, here it is again. We could just take the bid. It's printing the bid. We could take it right now for $1. But I'm still waiting for 267 flat here to see if we can get something better into that. So we'll see if that can happen. 267 flat.
Palantir, wick 25 again.
Okay, so Palantir is still moving around. Apple, good outs for Apple into the teens, but we promised something, so we're going to do it right now. All right, it's 10:50 right now. As we'll watch Palantir at 25. We'll be real quick right now. Shout out to all my Ukrainian friends because today you're in luck. Today is oven-baked pierogies with roasted sausage, so that's nice. Herb sauteed onions and sour cream. My kids are all about, well, my daughter's all about dumplings and pierogies and things like that, so shout out to that one. Okay, here goes Coinbase, man. Hopefully, you know what? Like, this might be good enough. If we can cross out and punch out, maybe we'll take, see, like, this is the thing I'm talking about. You crossed, okay, boom. There it is right now, face slap up for Coinbase. Let's go, get to the damn downside right now. $1.30, $1.50 in the money now on Coinbase, but understand the spread. I just punched out there at 30. So the spread right now is 35 cents. Right? Look at the movement. So you got to be very, very careful with this one. Let's hope it continues to print. Intel, like we said, let's go, man. Fire off the damn hot dog cannon because there it is, the #1 trade idea finally starting to print. It will be a very positive name, and we're happy for that. Nice move down, and I just said to Neil 10 minutes ago, I turned over, I said, this name has room to get to the downside. We agreed. Boom goes a dynamite. Nice downside play there. Let's now see if Coinbase can follow suit and really start to get going. This time, we're not going to be too silly with this. Let's bid out at 265.50 because last time we had a $6 winner or $4 winner. It bounced at the 50-period moving average. So now this is coming up to 265. Let's put a bid at 265.50 in case we flush downside on that one. So good trade back in there on Coinbase, but hey, it's been, look, here it goes. It's been a tough one. If you want to take the 250, you could take it now. I just told you where I'm bidding, 265.50.
And I said I'd be out if we got to that mid-60s on Intel. And to word, it printed 65s. This wick just came in like 2 seconds ago. This was a clean chart 2 seconds ago, I swear it was. 65 just came in, I just got out. Like, this has been in an upward trend. For me, I'll be like, it's basically flat on the trade. It might be a positive number, but it's flat because I was shorted early and got out for a loss, shorted again, and then shorted again. And to me, when it pulls back in an upward trend, I'm not going to be green because I'm not going to take more shares all the way up, which is the way that it'll end up having to work for you. Palantir, so obviously we had the news with, Alex Karp is going to be going on another station. That said, the trade is the trade. I mean, come on. It wicked 25 like 3 times up here. So maybe it's going to break out, but I'm short 96, and if it breaks the high, I'm out. That'll be, call it 7 cents plus slippage, because the high, it means plus slippage because 02s is a high, so hits 03s, I'm going to try to punch out. No worse than 10 cents there, and VWAP is about 10 cents down, or maybe 15 cents down. So if it gets to VWAP, that'll look pretty solid on PLTR. It could easily be a breakout. No doubt about it. And Mr. Memes, a firm can't stop, won't stop. See, that's the thing. Like, I like the firm there. I missed the trade, so I'm not going to take it just because I missed it. It's trending up. I don't have to fight that stock. You don't have to do it. Just because I like that level, that's a good way to get yourself into trouble. But you'll never be in trouble when you learn what is going on with the USD and other currencies with Money Talks.
Bit of a move down here today for the DXY and a day that is incredibly light on data. We did have the move up yesterday initially on that CPI print, so that big spike up, then closed slightly higher, but we are moving down today. We do have tomorrow, though, absolutely on watch, the PPI data. So from what I can tell here for the estimates, looks like analysts are expecting the PPI month over month and year over year to be slightly higher for the year over year and about flat for the month over month. Then for core PPI for year over year and month over month, it looks like analysts are expecting those to be lower. So interesting mixed look here for PPI versus core PPI. Tomorrow we also are going to be getting that retail sales data, business inventories data, also on watch. And on Friday we do get some consumer sentiment. So interesting picture across the board with regards to some events that could be impacting the USD as we wait for the FOMC meeting next week. Right now, though, not too much happening with regards to the USD right now, guys.
Yeah, we're going to put Adara to work here again. We need news on Square.
But okay, so she
Mentioned it before. I just can't remember.
And I'm like, why is Affirm running? Checks notes, Affirm's at the high of the day, PayPal's at the high of the day, Square's at the high of the day. So
Who checks notes? Bitcoin. Let's go.
Yeah, so if you're in anything that is payment processing or whatever.
Remember when Square and all those things used to move because of Bitcoin, and now I don't think they really care too much about that because Bitcoin is all over every platform, it appears like. Right here, okay, here we go, man. We are bidding 265.60s. Let's see if it comes in, man. This is a $3 winner right now. We're short at 269 on Coinbase. Let's just see if it prints us. We're sitting here right there, and that's it right now. Let's go. Bang! Bing bong! There it goes into the downside. I don't know why. I saw a stupid short that had that. That's the New York subway. It's so stupid. We were doing that during meme craziness.
Oh, the bing bong?
The bing bong
yes,
stupidness.
Everyone loves bing bong.
All right, so here we go. Apple starting to go to the high side right now. This has been a very, very good day. Like we said already for us, it's only 10:52, but let's keep on going. We talked about Intel, and what did we say Intel had? More room to go down. So let's fire off the hot dog cannon one more time because there goes Intel and it's heading southbound, baby. This is going to be a big one for us here today. So is Coinbase. So is Tesla. Tesla could have been an absolute monster if we took that out at 170.50. We should have done that. We'll wait to see where it goes right now. But I don't know. Position pending. We'll see. Right now, we got to give a big shout out to Wayne. Wayne in the pole position right now. Not sure we can catch him, but we'll see. Congratulations to Wayne. We'll go two spot here today. But Wayne kicking it in the background. Congrats to my guy over there, the big Wayner. Going in the back. So again, that reminds me, if you do want to be part of Real Trading, go check it out. That's why I do that, is to lead into this, and I didn't need to do it. This is a trading floor. So if you do want to become part of our trading floor, you're not going to be able to get Wayne from us, but you will be able to have another, lead trader, someone to be able to teach you guys all the different strategies. That's what Real Trading is all about. So get involved right now. Again, the numbers are solid. Unfortunately, if you are located in the United States, this will not, unfortunately, be an option for you. But everywhere else in the world, besides Ukraine and Russia, actually, I should say that, will be
literally, but it's almost
will be available. Yeah, it's just those two places and the continental United States, I guess. Okay, so that's a good one there. Apple highs, Intel. Again, we just got a piece out there at 54. Crazy. We only have 5% left of this name now, so let's go. If you trade here, can you sit beside me? Well, I got Neil here and I got Sharif here. We got Patty. So I called them BPI because we had the CPI and we had PPI tomorrow. So BPI indicator, the big Patty Ice indicator behind us there. So yeah, man, you'll have to weasel your way in here, but true story. Sharif used to sit right there behind us, and I was like, who is this guy that's like thinks this is a gym or something like that?
He wore basketball jerseys.
Yeah, he wore jerseys all the time, which was great. Be comfortable trading. I mean, that's what it's all about. And then now he's one of the hosts of a very successful midday show, which today will be...
We are talking about risk management in volatile markets.
Risk management in volatile markets. You might have heard right at the end there, but a big shout out to my guy over here as he is not stopping either.
Don't fight the trend. There's
Yeah, lots of good talk there today for not fighting the markets. That's for sure. We did not do that, and we were very, very patient.
Markets are falling again.
Exactly. It took all day for us to get to the level that we're at, and I'm happy to do that. It doesn't matter if it happens, honestly, as you guys know, at 9:45 or at 11 o'clock. I mean, you want to make the trades that present yourself. I missed the AMD trade. I missed the ARM trade. But still, we're here, and we're having a good time, and I hope you guys are as well.
Yeah, we're right back to the lows.
$4 on Coinbase.
183 on the NASDAQ. That goes, and it's over, as Kenny Smith would say. Yeah, you do that.
Vince.
It's over, Vince Carter. We break one.
Going
we
into
break
the hall as a
18
Raptor, apparently.
As opposed to what?
Well,
is that it? Huh?
I mean, there's lots of. I feel like.
Think?
No. He's going to go as a Raptor. I mean, thank God. Yeah, I don't know. He could have chose Jersey or something stupid like that. I don't know what these people choose. He played, 3 seasons in Dallas? I don't know. Anyway.
It would be ridiculous anywhere else.
Oh, Vince Carter.
I think sometimes.
I mean, Kawhi's obviously going to go in as a Raptor.
No, actually, for a second, I'm not saying I got heated over that, but the notion that Vince would go in another jersey is laughable to me. It's about where you made the most.
Jays
It's about where you made the most impact. At the end of the day, like when you think about it,
almost like they should
you
force
think
them.
about Vince Carter with the dunk off, and he's wearing a Raptors jersey. Even when he did that dunk over Weiss, that 7-foot
in the Olympics.
French dude, like he was a Raptor. He was a Raptor on Team USA, as far as I'm concerned.
I saw Vince in. He's a commentator now. I think it's for Jersey. I mean, you guys would know. But anyways, he was wearing slacks, dress shoes, and everything. This was about a week ago. He grabs the ball. He takes off from just inside, not just inside, but closer to the basket than the foul line. But he takes off and bang, one hands it down. He's 48 years old or something like that. It's like
Dr. J was he threw down when he was like 60 something.
Yeah, and Vince will be able to do that easily. For what I saw.
But those dudes are freaks of nature. What? They're just all
really NBA players are freaks of nature.
Just built. No, but I mean not all of them. No, I'm talking about like the Vinces of the world, Dr. J.
Yeah, the athletes.
Like they are like some of those dudes are just different.
How old is Vince Carter?
There's a guy who could lead better than any of them, but he couldn't ball. His name was
47.
Michael Wilson. Look him up. He went for the Globetrotters. He played for Memphis with Lorenzo Red, I think, back in the day. But that guy was the most ridiculous dunker. He holds a world record for the highest dunk. If he had any game, he was stupidity. We got back into Tesla. We only have 2 minutes to go here. We reloaded Tesla on the hump. I've been shorting one level and one level alone underneath the 172. So the first break doesn't work. Not going to fight it. The second breakdown, we're able to get it back into it. It just curled right back into 171 again and curled at 171.80. This has been one of those days where everything's been pretty easy in binary. Anything that hasn't worked has been really easy to get away from, I think. Palantir still at 95s. I'm short at 96s here. And oh yeah, I was going to mention Palo Alto because we only got 2 minutes left. For relative strength and weakness, relative strength. Up 1.5%. And looky, Palo Alto is still holding 280 and now breaking back out. If this can take 290, then it gets 300. As a matter of fact, you're getting already a local break here at 288. So don't sleep on Palo Alto for a trend this afternoon.
We've hit this a couple times because we've had a $5 to $4 winner on Tesla, and now we have a $1, $2, $3, $4, $5 winner on Coinbase. If you want to take that. Yeah, the net, definitely. We've just made 10%. Somehow. I don't even know. I guess it's Intel's going down, Apple, Tesla. Tesla was the one that started to crack lower there. Breaking. So this is not the video that I'm talking about because it seems like he's wearing Jordans here or something like that. But this was him at 46 years old. He did one. He's 47.
There was a recent
He did this last week too, but it's just.
No, that's not the one.
That's not the one, but I just wanted to show everybody. Like he is 40.
That's like a double pump.
You know what I Googled? I Googled Vince Carter old dunk, and it was like that he's old. So that's what came up.
He's not that old.
No, he's 47.
Not that old.
47. You're getting close to that, Neil.
I was going to say.
All right, so here we go. Intel, there goes Intel. And guess what? We're going to keep on firing the hot dog cannons because you know what? If you believed in the sticky note trade today, right? And remember I told you, I'm bidding 40s on Intel. Like, this is the thing. Like, there it is. Huge move to the downside. Not only that, this is what's happening to the net. I was talking about Intel, talking about Tesla, but it is Tesla as well, as the market just made the move down. But this is what we're talking about. Look, Intel 45 short. It's just the whole day. I'm learning this every single day. Basically, I only need to have one damn trade today. I mean, multiple times you could have it. That's how good it is. Look at the number one name here on the sticky note. Intel, 45 short. Boom, 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 boom. 50 cents. Like this is the trade. Like we sit here and we talk about like, oh man, I'm stressing out this Tesla trade. We've got this big winner in Coinbase. But realistically, if I just put the whole damn boat up here, then it's my best day probably of the year, right? But anyways, good trade there, man. Glad that we were able to hold it and glad that some of you guys there had the faith in that move. Let's just see what happens. It's past 11 o'clock. Tesla's the one thing here that we're coming back in. I am bidding right here. It's bounced off 50. I was bidding 170.20. I feel like we might as well just put a bid now. If this is going to bounce off of like 70s and 80s, I'm fine with that. We can give up 50 or 60 cents to the downside in order to hold a little bit more. This is going to be my P&L number one name game today. So, if I can take a fill here, add to that, and then start to stack up, if it starts to break down through 170, we may even punch that short. So I'm bidding right now 170.75. If it comes in, bing bong. Also, Coinbase is well down $4. Tesla down $1. Intel down 50 cents. We're handing you off to good hands right there because boom, there it goes right now. Let's go into the gates of hell for Tesla as that trade just hits. And by the way, if you're looking at this chart, yeah, man, it's real and it's fantastic. It's a 175.50 short right there on Tesla. Sharif likes that one.
There's a couple of good questions in there. We'll have to wait for them. I didn't want to interrupt, but it's past 11 o'clock. We got to kick you off. I'll try to get to that. There was a question about Fisker.
You can take it. Just take the question.
There.
We don't have to.
I want to be able to chance to look at it. I haven't even looked at the chart of Fisker, so it would take me a couple minutes to get into it. But don't forget, this is important. I'm in Palantir. Palantir's at 25. Alex Karp is going to be talking, so obviously that stock could move. I'm not holding it past the high of the day. Just watch out. Sometimes you get a bump, and if it breaks out, you don't want to get caught going against it. After he's on, you can always maybe jump back into the fade, but just be careful. Alex Karp, CEO of Palantir, will be talking on another station. We'll send you over to learn a little bit about shorting volatility and how to do it safely with Adara and the professor.